Boom, boom. Burn. Josie, how's everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Hey. Hey, Zach. Hey, Jimmy. Pee pee poo poo. Hey. Hello, hello, no, what's then? It's payday. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Doing some live animation stuff at the moment. I'm just sorting out some render. And yeah, doing good, Jimmy, doing good. Oh, yeah. Managed to animate shots. Oh, crash. I had a crash in Nuke before. Let's wait for this. Another scene. You
are a fool for coming here.
Thanks for the follow, host. Appreciate that. Had to reach lasso. That was a nightmare. I haven't done any lassos myself. I probably should at some point. I would like to 100% MCC at some point in my life. Um, um, Bum, 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 bum.
You are a fool for coming here.
Pineapple sauce. Thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate that. Look at all these follows coming in today. You guys are awesome. So, one thing that's kind of annoying, we have to wait for a while for these scenes to load. Nothing I can do about it. Wait. Take these renders. Dude, I'm so close. Arrive for the party. Lurker welcomes homework. No worries, man. Lurk away. Gonna be chilling, doing some animation tonight. I might do some MCC for a bit, maybe. kind of want to just power ahead with the animation, but
A full
Savage
coming
Nick,
year.
thank you for the follow, man. All these follows come in. I'm so close to the end of episode 3 with all the renders. As a thing of showing how close I am. This is the end. I am
You are a full
Derpy Bacon with the follow.
coming year.
Appreciate it, Derpy Bacon. Thank you very much. So I am here at the moment. This shot's animated, so actually I am here. I have this shot to animate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 shots left. And then okay, 7 shots left. 6 of which are super easy. And then the last shot, because I'm ending on a high, a bit more involved, so it's going to take me a couple of days. But I'm hoping I can animate these 6 tonight. And then it's just rendering. And then it's compositing. And then sound design. There's a lot of things. A lot of things still to go. But I can see the end after a year of working on this project. Mitchell was hard at work on some music last night. He sent me like an update today. Sounds good. It's gonna be epic. Helps if I'm not hearing myself. Is the part 3 part the final one or not the final one? Episode 3 is 3 of 5, hopefully. We'll see how episode 3 does. If episode 3 just completely like crashes and when people watch it they're like, it's alright, but it wasn't worth the year of waiting. And if people would rather not wait for like episode 4 or whatever, then I might not do anymore because I have so many other projects that I want to do. And after episode 3, I'm definitely gonna kind of chill with Chariot Falls for a sec. And I have like 2 other projects that I want to get going. One of which I think is going to be super epic. I think people will appreciate it. Did you get new footstep sound effects? I will definitely be improving them. Don't worry. We will not be having a repeat of episode 2. 1 and 2 were already pure masterpieces, dude. You're too kind. They were not masterpieces in any sense, but I appreciate it. Episode 3 makes episode 1 and 2 look like a teaser. Bacon, I animate in Maya. I only use Maya. Maya, ZBrush, Premiere for editing, Nuke for compositing. Yeah, I only use Maya. Savage now, I'm really hyped. Hell yeah. Gonna be good. I'm super proud of it. And I haven't even done all the compositing, so all the stuff that people have seen so far, when you see the final thing, is not gonna look anything like it. It'll look better, hopefully. And it'll just look more atmospheric, which is what I want. Simple Pie, your work is incredible, absolute legends. Thanks, man. You guys are like honestly the most wholesome community I think there is in Halo. I honestly think I have like the best community out of any YouTuber. I don't class myself as a YouTuber because I'm not really. But you guys kind of, you guys make it a lot easier to manage the YouTube side of things. You make it worth it. worth all the effort because it's as much for me or it's as much for you guys as it is for me. Like I'm doing this for me, but then because you guys all seem to get a kick out of it, it makes it so much better for me. Gives me like a target to aim towards.
The game, bro.
Oh, hey Cal,
Yeah,
how you doing?
doing good.
You're good. I'm
I was
literally
fooling with
just
that wheel last night, and I was just like, I can't do this tonight. I just wait till tomorrow.
I'm literally just waiting for mine to open.
How long you been waiting?
It normally takes a good like 10, 15 minutes for it to open.
Are you kidding me?
No, I think there's something in my scene which I can't be asked going and figuring out because I'm so close to the end right now. So
Oh my
there's something in
gosh.
my scene that causes a massive delay in loading. I think it's probably something to do with proxies, but I can't be asked trying to figure out what's causing it. And once I load up the
15
scene,
minutes.
it won't take like everything moves really quick, but
Like, bro, 15 minutes. That's
I know. I mean, if
bro.
you look, you can see like the 100% in the bottom left corner. So that's actually loading. Well, that's saving an old scene and loading. But Maggie, almost enough to get a PC. The animations make it easier to make. Yeah, having a good computer does make things a bit quicker.
A lot quicker.
Yeah, especially rendering. I've been learning Blender for just over a year now. Would love to be able to create projects as large and high quality as this. Looks amazing. Thanks, Will. No reason why you can't. I don't think I'm talented in any sense. I just think I put a shitload of time in, which a lot of people can't be bothered to do, which I completely get because it can be very boring and very kind of stressful in a way. But the more time and effort you put in, the better your results going to be. Bum, bum, bum. Mr. H. Good, thanks. How are you? Oh, here we go. Now my scene's going to load.
I will say though,
Bum,
I've been
bum.
loving V-Ray. It's awesome.
The array is really good. It is very cool. If it was as quick as Redshift and as simple to use rendering wise, I would use it. But it's not, so I will not.
Simple. What do you mean by simple?
Redshift, like you literally put in one value and the render looks good. You don't have to worry about noise. And it's super quick. But V-Ray, you have to kind of worry about a few settings from years and years and years ago when I used it, which is obviously has changed since then. But can't wait for the episode. Gonna be awesome, no doubts. Thanks, man. I can't wait to show off. Like the closer I'm getting to the end of doing all the visuals, the more hyped I'm getting about the episode. Because I went through like when like the first 6 months, I was like, oh, this episode's awesome. Like I'm having so much fun. And then I burnt out a little bit, and I was just like, oh, it's just like there's so much to do, and I wanted to have like an episode done every 3 months. But obviously, episode three just because of the amount I had to make and the amount of animation, action, and characters and stuff, it just completely skyrocketed in terms of how long it takes. Um, so I fully burnt out with episode three, which is why I did the Halo 3 cutscene, just to give me something else to work on. And then after that, I was like, okay, let's get going with it again. Got into a bit of a roll with it. Ended up just cranking out shots like day after day, and I'm finally in like the last few shots. The episode at the moment is running about 5.5 minutes. Dude, Savage. Generally, majority of my projects are going to be Halo related because it's kind of what I'm mostly passionate about creating artwork for.
Halo VFX.
Yeah, I mean, Halo VFX is like it's just an easy name to remember, and I quite like that it's Halo VFX because that's like where I started. So even if I did do other content, I don't think it really matters that I'm called Halo VFX because to me it's just like where I started the channel and everything. Um, but I'm generally just more excited about making CG shorts within the Halo universe. None of it's set in lore. It's all entirely fan made. I have no idea about campaign or I highly doubt 343 would ever want to do anything with me or contract me to do any shorts. That would be sick and that would be a dream come true. But it's just not how companies work, I don't think. But never say never. No one knows what will happen in the future. But I like that I can just do it on my own. Just make little fan shorts.
I mean, I'm sure it gives a lot of people kind of inspiration and hope. It's like, I mean, look at Pixel Flare. Like,
Yeah, yeah, but Pixel is very different because it's more marketing and it's
yeah, that's
more
that is
like
true.
because it's stills. It's like it's generally a bit easier to hire someone for that sort of thing. But when it's like shorts and it's like the creativity in terms of you're creating a story within the universe. So if it was official, it would have to be
You have to
strictly lore
consider
based
considering a lot of
and
things. Yeah,
yeah, there's so many things you got to take into. It's almost like the more lore based you kind of set your work in, the more limitations you have and the less creative you can be in a really mild backwards way. Not to say you can't be creative because you can obviously have really cool cinematography and really good lighting. Like just look at Blur's work. All their stuff is just
Blur is
it's
crazy.
flawless. Like I love Blur's work.
Blur is nuts. If we could get like another Halo 2 anniversary out from Blur, that would be so nice.
Dude, I would love a Halo 1 Blur remaster and a Halo 3
Oh,
Blur
I would
remaster.
love a Halo
Just
movie done by Blur.
oh yeah, me too. I just know that would never happen.
Yeah, it's
If
so
343 ever came out and they just had like they put a date out there just being like guys, Netflix on this day, just prepare yourself. And they like or they if they just did like a teaser and it was like November 15th and it had like Blur's logo with 343 and then it said like movie or anthology or something, I would be so hyped. I think the whole community would be like, yeah, we're ready. This has been a decade in the making.
how expensive would like an entire like theatrical, let's
Oh,
say like a
like
2 hour 2 hour
stu-
film.
stupid expensive
Yeah, like
to the point where they
two
will definitely not be paying that sort of money to make. I mean, they might. It depends on how. If Infinite is super successful, I think it opens the doors for spending more money on that sort of thing. Because if Infinite is not successful, say Infinite, like hypothetically, if Infinite completely flops, for example, they will retract everything and be like, okay, we need to be careful about where we're putting our money with Halo, because four was not great. When you look at like the timeline of the whole franchise, four kind of where it started to go downhill. Five, although some people like it, it again was pretty terrible as like a game, as a Halo game. It was a good game, it's just not great as a Halo game. And like the community just went like it was slowly going down, down. Infinite's like this little spike that's kind of leading its way back up. But if Infinite drops off, the whole community is just gonna essentially disappear. And I don't know
flat
whether that
out.
would make
We have to go flat out.
yeah, but I don't know if that would make 343 look at other avenues to go down, like whether they would just stop with um like making the games like at that time, and maybe at that point they might be like, maybe we should start putting Halo into like the cinematic universe, or like bringing it to a TV series, like a proper high budget TV series. Because I think the one that's coming out is high budget, but can't be sure until I see the visual effects. It's kind of how I judge how much budget the show has. If the visual effects look poor and kind of shitty, then you can just tell it's like a cheap series.
You could tell kind of what Halo 4 Unto Dawn when it came out. It was not visually the prettiest
Yeah, Fallen
effects
Unto Dawn
you've
is
seen.
like they almost put all the effort in, and then they were just like, fuck the visuals, it's fine.
Yeah, they're like,
But
"Ah, it's fine."
Halo's like
That
all
that
about the
explosion.
visuals. Like,
Hello.
Oh my god,
is
tuna.
that Tuna? Hey Tuna.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Vishnu. Thoughts on the Halo 5 cinematics? They were pretty sick. The choreography was fucking terrible, but they were
Five?
cool. Hmm?
In
One thing
Halo
that
5?
really,
For Halo 5, yeah. It's like
one thing
visually
that
they look
really,
really cool, and it's like the mocap and the cleanup was generally pretty good throughout the whole thing. It's just the choreography was just atrocious. Like
It did
it
look a lot cleaner compared to 4.
yeah,
I
it
think.
was a lot
Yeah.
higher quality than 4, but like it literally looked like they got someone who had never worked with actors or cameras behind the camera and went, okay, you're directing this whole cutscene, like Chief versus Locke fight, which is obviously it's like the staple of what to talk about, right? But it
Right.
literally looks like they had no idea how to choreograph that fight,
that fight
or the
isn't even
That
canon
or they
in my
did,
book.
and they had like a weekend to do it, and that's all they could. It would be something like they didn't have any time, and that's why it turned out bad, or they just didn't have the right person to do it. It's one of those
it
things.
it could have been that or a little bit of misdirection as well because I feel like that scene should have felt like remember when you see Captain America on the boat in was it Civil War? I forget which one.
Yeah,
And you
The
know how
Winter
like he just
Soldier.
punches a dude and he just dude strong as heck, right?
yeah,
The ideologies of showing that strength, you know.
yeah.
He's supposed to be at that, but they didn't do that, so it was missing the point.
The
I
fact
feel
the
like.
fact that Chief was really
Yeah.
getting like handled by Locke like that was
But like
very inaccurate.
I don't mind that he was getting kind of beaten by Locke a little bit because at the end of the day they're both Spartans and Locke is really strong. Like it's not like I mean Spartans are inherently extremely strong. Chief is obviously meant to be stronger in lore, but it's not like he would just like if Locke punched him he wouldn't move like a wall. Like he
Right.
would
I
get
guess.
knocked down. It's just
Yeah.
the kind of I don't know the
I think the
what's the
analogy that
word?
I wish I could saw in that film was remember Apollo Creed versus Rocky. Apollo's fast and got technique, but Rocky's got that dynamite punch, right?
Yeah,
That's the difference I wish I saw between the two. And knowing that Locke is someone who's even in a sense an assassin, right? And
yeah.
have a lot of techniques to kill people, but he doesn't have that boom, dynamite,
And
right?
yeah, he doesn't have like the prowess, and he doesn't have the. It's almost like he doesn't have the knowledge. He's like he has all the skill and he has all the like
Hmm.
tricks and stuff, but Chief has like the
But like.
knowledge of just fighting for so long, like
Right,
or
and
something
and
like that.
Chief, I expected like the way he fought was more of like, yes, he hits hard, but a lot of his training is from, in a sense, military martial arts, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's very different. It has this very specific movement, um, and I just didn't feel like there was a difference between the two in terms of their body language. I'm not talking about if they're one is stronger than another. I'm just talking about the way they move,
yeah, yeah,
or
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was very strange,
yeah.
but
But hey, they learn their stuff, and I hope that moving forward it'll be good.
hopefully, yeah.
We'll see.
Choreography on the Halo 5 opening was a bit weird. Elites just really wanted to die during it. Yeah, but as far as I'm aware, the 5 opening cutscene was one animator,
Pretty
and
much
he did a pretty damn good job
for one
for
person,
one
but yeah,
person.
That was
Like,
one dude,
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, so
bro.
anytime you have a no cuts, it's very hard to hand off your work between multiple
yeah.
people. Like if Josh and I had the same, we were assigned the same opening, and yet there's no camera cuts. Me handing off a scene to him or him handing off a scene to me while there's no cuts
It
for a
can be
specific work,
really confusing, and
I think
it
it's
just
not worth the trouble. Yeah.
no, it normally isn't. I mean, the only way it would work is if someone's doing crowd shots for stuff in the background, and
Yep.
then whoever's handling the main shot, they just have those that they can like dip into and like import and place around. But as soon as you have a wanna, it's generally one person animating it. And the fact that cutscene has probably like 100 plus characters all in the like moving and in the background and in ships and
I think maybe the main, I don't know for sure, right? This is just my opinion. Maybe at least the main hero, like elites and all the Covenant. and at least the Spartans were all one person, and maybe the background characters that we don't
Yeah,
get to see
maybe
very
they were
much so
like
far.
crowd or something.
Yeah, I think maybe that might, or maybe a secondary animator who did that on top of it afterwards, just to add to it.
Yeah, it was still really good though. Like, I mean,
It-
it was really good, but the animation wasn't quite. It wasn't great, but that's because there was so much.
I
Like,
feel like when you first watch it, it hits you, right?
mm,
And that's the impression. Like you need to get that impression the first time you watch it. However, under a microscope, of course, you're gonna see a lot of things
yeah,
start cracking apart, right?
and
But when
annoyingly,
you
I
first
because
play it,
I was watching
yeah,
it from like the animator's point of view, so I was seeing like them sliding when they're running and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, oh, it looks a little bit not finished. But then like a guy at work told me it was one person. I was like, okay, I don't even care that it's not finished. That's really good. Like that's like
hmm
top tier work.
imagine that
I mean,
person got like
absolute mad lad.
another like 3 to 4, maybe 5 weeks of
Hmm.
work. Like,
Dude's an absolute mad lad though, for like doing that entire scene
Yeah, it's
single-handedly.
really cool. Mr. H, where do you see yourself after 5 or 10 years? Um, doing this, I guess. Just still making my own little shorts and working my normal day job. I would hope. I mean, if something happened and I hit like the Astartes level fame, which I don't think it ever would happen, and I was earning the amount of money that I think he was earning for his Patreon stuff, that would be a time where I would think about stopping my day job and just making this stuff full time. Because of that would be my dream job. Not having to work and just doing this every single day.
that'd be cool.
I would love that. But that's a pipe.
Imagine if you like started a whole series and like you start a whole your own like YouTube series
Like a
for
red
video.
versus blue thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, exactly. But it's yours, right?
Mm,
Yours and like and you're a team of people that makes it together.
that would be cool.
And and it's not canonized. It's just like this is just you having fun.
It's like this is just we want to make something that looks cool. Nothing else. Like nothing to do with lore. We just base it in the Halo universe so we can use all the characters and like steal bits of story
I
elements and
mean,
stuff.
those guys over at like those VFX YouTube channels like a Node and them, I mean, that's what they do, right?
Mm.
Right? It's
Can we talk about just how bad Corridor is though sometimes? Like
I mean
speaking
what
that
do
of
you mean?
VFX YouTube channels.
What do you mean by bad? I want to hear what you mean by that.
Like when I say bad, we'll use a pretty notorious example here. Do you remember
Okay.
that video about the Mandalorian, how Luke made a cameo, right? And they used special effects.
hmm
Right?
I
Corridor
mean,
believed that they could do a better version of it. Now this may be a little bit of a hot take, but I looked at it and I saw it, and honestly, Corridor did a much worse version, in my opinion, comparatively to Disney's in-house
Yeah.
well,
CG.
you know what's this is my
And they were
this is
like
my take on
touting that.
Corridor. They say a lot of that, right? I find it
That's
interesting.
literally just for YouTube.
That's I was just saying, I think it's
It's
for
clickbait.
me, that's content creation.
Yeah.
Um
Everyone at
and
work, like because a lot of the stuff they do is basically redoing ILM's work and like saying we fix like for example Luke, that was all ILM.
right.
And then so we see it and then we see what they do and we're like, they have no idea.
They're
It's
just
like they
laughing.
say they're
Like,
fixing
how
it
did
and
y'all
then that
actually
but
feel about that?
I mean, we kind of laugh at it because we know it's nowhere near the quality of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
mean,
works for YouTube because YouTube is 1920 by 1080, but Disney's doing it at 4K. Like try doing it at 4K to the same level, and it wouldn't hold up at all.
and you can see every little mistake because
Yeah,
of how much detail there is in 4K.
yeah,
Like
It's
it's
literally
and
like the
try
like
idea
and
that
try
25
working with
years
the
of talent.
limitations of
yeah.
what was filmed on set from a director. Instead of doing what they do, where they hire in a guy who is like not a great actor that has a fairly similar like face, and then change all the lighting so that it matches their weird face deep fake thing. Like they basically changed the whole shot to make it look better, and it's like it's not really how it works in filmmaking. But okay, And they make a few comments which doesn't. It's just not true. But I think that's just lack of research on their part.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I
the
get
way
the
I
I get the
see
idea
it,
they want to sound like they know how the industry works and they know the in and outs and they can
I
just
mean,
tell
they
you.
do. I think they have a lot of contacts, but I don't think any of them have ever really worked in the industry. That's the thing.
I kind of half agree without knowing any information for sure. I think it's one of those things where if they were that good, why aren't they working in film and
Yeah, that
like
is true.
Yeah, yeah,
Why aren't
exactly.
they?
because you know the guy that did do the face swap on Luke for the Mandalorian that did a decently pretty good job and he got hired as a
Yeah, I
junior.
was about to say that someone actually got
Like
hired at
yeah,
ILM
from that
for
alone
that.
it's like, oh, he
Well,
didn't
there,
like try to say anything. He just did it just because he just could.
He was just
yeah,
bored.
there is a
Bored.
guy
Where
who he'd done like a YouTube channel where he's deep fakes like Wonder Woman and I think he did Indiana Jones or it was like some old film like that. Um,
mm,
where he's deep fakes like old characters onto new people and stuff like that, and it is like insanely good. And I think he got hired by ILM off the back of all that.
yeah, I mean it's just the idea that like I mean, for VFX and film, it might be a little bit different since I don't know that. I can't really speak to it. Like for game development, right? People saying that game development, it's easy to become a backseat game developer by just saying, why can't they just add a button? Why can't they just make it work? Why can't?
Mm.
Uh, it's just not that easy. I mean, please go make a video game because Unreal's free in a sense to try
Yeah,
and see what it's really like because the moment you dipped into yourself into a game development environment, make a game for yourself, that's when you realize, oh shit, doing something as simple as adding a stupid button or adding a fucking door is it's ungodly
Can
impossible.
become can become the most complex thing in the
It's
world.
and
The
it
most
shouldn't be. It
the
shouldn't be.
most
Yeah, but it is. It really
the
is.
most like simple things in the world
Yeah.
can become the most nightmarish.
And then you wonder why games take so many X months, years to make,
Yo,
how many
why can't it
dollars?
just be like this? Why can't it just be
Yeah.
like
And a lot of
that?
people are like, "Oh, that's just a copy and paste." I was like, "There's no such thing as copy and paste in game development. Like you can't just copy and paste sections of a game. It just doesn't work that way. It's hard as fuck to do that. Like it when you quantify that kind of information, but people's source of information is just YouTubers who don't know how game development works, but they explain it as if they
YouTubers.
know. Well, content creators in general, right? Um, they talk as if they know how to do it, even though they've never done it. It that's their source of information, so it comes off as a way that makes us look like we're lazy. But we're not. It's just really fucking hard. That's all it is.
yeah,
It's just really hard. Like I don't know what to explain. It's just things break all the time.
true.
You fix one little problem in your pipe, and the pipe busts in another part. You gotta
Dude,
go
that's
fix that.
exactly what it is.
Like
It's you think you fix one problem, but you introduce like 10 new ones for the
now,
same
obviously,
fix. Yeah,
I'm
it's
no game developer, but just using common
yeah,
sense there. You know,
yeah,
nothing's gonna be as easy as it seems. It's so easy said, so hard done.
yeah, pretty much. God damn it,
Why
really?
can't the game just be ray tracing? Why can't the game just like be in 5K? Why can't the Xbox One just push out a 5K game? Like,
Oh man, I wish. I wish.
like why can't Sony just crank out a PS5 that can do 8K like they were claiming like when it first came out? Then they stopped claiming because they realized how dumb it was. Why can't they just make that reality?
Tell me.
Seriously though, 8K is like really stupid. It's really stupid right now.
But yeah,
Um,
it's it's just weird.
Mm.
How was your guys' weekend?
yeah, it's good.
It
Yeah?
was good. Yeah.
Um, what did I do? I remember what I did at the weekend. I watched Shang-Chi.
You are
Oh shit, you did? I just
for
watched it last night,
coming
bro.
here.
So good.
Seven Electron, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Shang-Chi it's
So good.
probably one of my favorite Marvel films.
Mm-hmm.
Just for like the first half of the film,
Oh,
I absolutely loved that. First half was flawless, and then
Oh yeah.
in the second half it started going a bit too magical, but it was cool. I still really liked it, and I thought I don't really want to spoil it for anyone, but the the bad thing at the end, I kind of wish I had more screen time
Uh
without giving away what happens or what it is. The thing that comes out,
oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was so well designed, and I was like, that looks so cool, and it was literally in there for like 6 shots or something, and I was like, oh, I just want to see like 10 minutes of full action with this, but it was still very cool. I still loved it. I would happily go and watch it again just for the action. Electron, do you listen to music while animation? If so, what sort of stuff are you into? To be honest, I don't actually. I normally have Netflix on or some video in the background, like could be a Twitch stream or Gordon Ramsay. I'm binging loads of his videos, but never normally listen to music. I think I did in the off when I was working in office, but not since working at home. Just animate in silence, in cold, dark silence. Oh, 93% loaded. Very boring. Starts the stream. We're just watching a loading bar. Looking at the shots.
I need me a calculator. 3990 divided by 2, 1995, 33, 9. Oh, so 1995.
Blood stuff's looking awesome. Thanks, man. The loading bars rule. Yeah, I wish it moved a bit quicker.
Plus 12.
I honestly can't wait to start the next project that I have in my head.
Is it the one you and I talked about after Vanguard?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, bro. I
that's the
can't wait to
one
see
that.
that.
But I need to model like the ODST and the drop pod. But I'm gonna spend
you
like
need to record that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
gonna be
spending
cool
like
as
a good
fuck.
amount of time modeling that stuff because I want to make it look as good as possible. Especially because like
The draw distance is
the
gonna be
camera is gonna
amazing.
be like in
Yeah.
the drop pod and then out of it.
Bro, please record that.
Yeah, I could probably record that. Hey, chromatic
Dramatic aberration?
Exodus. Bum, bum. If someone wants to get into animating, where would they start? You could start by either YouTubing it. You could start by I mean, you could do it with Blender and then just grab an animation rig from if you just Google Blender animation rig, there's probably tons that show up. Um, and literally just start manipulating the controls, just moving the character around, learning how to set keys. Because animation at the end of the day is just setting keys, and then it's just learning. I mean, not just setting keys. You have to learn like timing and how to fake a character having weight and all that sort of stuff.
I think that's a big one.
Well, yeah, weight and timing is like, and spacing is the biggest thing.
That's something that I'm still learning to this day.
I think it's something you always learn. I don't think
Right?
I don't
And
think
you
you ever
do it.
like yeah, you don't ever like finish you never can complete learning animation like I'm
I
learning
just
all the time.
learned how to do a head turn properly from a Pixar animator after they showed me. I was like, why have I never done it this way?
Yeah,
Never thought about it. And as soon as I did it in one of my scenes while at work, I was like, oh my god, my head turn looks so much more like, I don't know,
like more
not
organic.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can only
organic. That's the right word. Yeah, yeah.
I can only imagine what it takes to be an animator at Pixar, dude. Like, oh my god,
Yeah. I mean,
you got to be
it's
like crazy, dude.
but that's a thing though. Like I was never good to begin with, so I'm a testament that something you can be learned,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not that you have to naturally be talented. You have to be good at absorbing things and using that absorbed knowledge in different
Having
ways.
patience as well.
Yeah,
I
You
mean, for
gotta
me,
like
like
you gotta. I think animation takes the most patience out of any discipline
I guess
because
every technique that I've learned or every like advice I've been given to, usually it's like I get one advice for a very specific thing. Like for instance, learning how to animate cheekbones, for instance. Now, who would have fucking think that? No one. No one would think about that. However, the moment I thought about what it means to connect tissues through the cheekbones, I thought about it on every single thing.
yeah.
Like if I put a punch, how does that affect the chest? And how does that affect the way my posture is and shoulders?
just so
Like
that real
that
quick,
just
guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna go
yeah,
check
no
on
worries.
someone at PC.
It's just like how it coalesces across the body, like connective tissue. That was the essence of the feedback just for the face. However, it applies to so many different things and it changes the way you look at it completely. It's really annoying because anytime I get like really cool feedback, I'm like, oh, I really like how they, man, I'm never gonna forget that. You know, it's like a Christmas present every single time I learn something new. And now I learned how to do that stupid head turn. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna try and do that on everything. If that makes sense. Yeah, it's animation's weird, man. I don't know.
And I
Did you
enjoy it. It's fun.
did you get it? Did you get it through like how, so I got bit by the bug. Like the moment I discovered that this is it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Was that like that for you, Josh? Or
Not really for me. It was kind of like I always knew animation was the one thing that I'd probably be better at than anything
than
else.
anything else? Yeah. But
Um,
you were good at other stuff too, is that right? I
I,
mean,
I was ne- I
your
was
short is an
never.
example of that.
I don't know because like when I was in university, like it was weird. Like whenever everyone else was like, I mean, I still like went out and partied because that's just what you do in university. Like you go and get drunk and do all the university things as well. But like I gave up a bit of that because I knew how much money I'd spent on the course, and to me, learning all the skills that I wanted to learn because I knew like since I was like 13, I knew that I wanted to work in film doing the CG work and like the visual effects work because to me that was the most impressive thing about a film.
Right.
So like in my head, I've known since I was like 13 years old that this is what I want to do, but I didn't know which aspect. And then like I got like stick figure, the software like back in the day where you can like make your own little stickman animations.
Uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
I was like super inspired by like the really talented guys who could make really cool stories just using that software. And I was like, shit, this is like I remember the way watching those videos made me felt like I was just like so hyped watching those like that stuff. And then like you see things like Transformers, and I was like,
Hmm.
what I would give to work on a film like this. And then obviously ended up working on Transformers at some point in my life. So I was like, this is it. I've made it. But like in university,
Right.
like I never classed myself as like a talented person. It was more I was very happy just sitting down and working, whereas a lot of other people may have just wasted their time on the course, just like partying and like drinking. And I'm like, you didn't really need to spend like 50 grand on this 3 year course if you wanted to just get pissed every day. Like, do you know what I mean? That's my take on it. I was a bit of a
I guess.
bit of a hermit,
Yeah.
but I feel like it worked out in the end.
Yeah. Everyone's journey is different, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for lighting, and weirdly enough, either lighting or character modeling because I just draw it a lot and I rendered a lot of my drawings in shadow and light a lot. Um, so that's not what I thought I liked, but it was in 2D. So the moment I went to 3D and learned how to light and shadow and render my shit, I ended up hating it. Like, not because the teachers were bad, just more like I didn't like, to me it didn't look like or feel like it was creative in my way of thinking. So I kind of went through college, even though I went there for lighting, kind of lost, not knowing what I wanted to do. But I already paid for it. At that
Yeah.
point, I wasn't sure I was an animator yet, though. Like, I didn't. My first foray into animation was not a very good experience. It was just more like, man, this is tedious. um, it wasn't
Animation
in.
is, yeah, it was kind of
It's
like
so
annoying to
tedious,
learn.
right? But it was my first few months of anime, like 3D package in general, so I had no idea what I was doing. But it wasn't until a year later when I was doing my first rigging class, and I rigged a rat for my assignment, and one of the assignment was to test the rig. And so you got this rat, you have storyboards, and you have to choose 15 poses, any poses you want, just to test the rig, flexibility, ROM, range of motion, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was lazy. I didn't want to just randomly pick, so I just chose the first 15 in the storyboards. I didn't give a F. Um, but when I posed them out, right, on per frame, it looked like it was running, jumping, and spinning around a pole, like to land on a trapeze thingy, and like, but I accidentally hit play, and that's because it was like in order of 15 poses. It looked like it was moving, and I don't know, something clicked in me,
We just like,
and
this
that
is it.
this is it.
Done.
And but my entire experience of like the frustration was different because my first few months in anime and in 3D was I didn't know how to move anything. But a year later, I know how to move 3D in general. I know how to move controls in general. I know how to script a little bit, stuff like that. But it clicked, and I don't know what happened, but that bug bit me in the fucking ass, and it never let go. Um, and then I found out I'm really terrible at it. Like slow, like the understanding of what timing is, spacing, what weight is, or how to make things look natural, like none of that made sense to me. None of
Yeah.
it. My roommate, on the other hand, was a fucking natural. And it made me so mad that I'm like, how'd you do that? He's like, I don't know. I just feel it out. And I was like, oh, that's terrible. I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah, I was just like, what does that, what does feeding out mean?
Yeah, what does that
How do
mean?
I do that?
Right. I like to know how to do, like, at that time, I was too technical in my head. And maybe I was for the first few years in my industry, I was a little bit too technical. A lot of my stuff became stiff because of it. Um, but after a while, it loosened up quite a lot. But it took so many years to just get out of my own way, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but so instead, all these kids and all these students, um, who are naturally gifted was like just flying through the classes. So where I'm sitting over here failing animation classes, um, I started to take on a more serious tone. I just wanted to be an animator so bad, but I just knew I wouldn't get a job if I didn't do something. So what I did is I held myself back from education. Like instead of graduating with my class, I held myself back for 6 months and retook old classes, all animation.
Mm.
And they basically let me intern with the graduates who graduated before. Uh, and one of the biggest issues I had was I don't understand feedback, right? I think that's like when someone says push it, like early on, what does pushing means? Um, Pushing a pose or pushing the motion or anything in now it could mean anything. It could mean make it bigger, make it poppier, make it snappier, uh, make it taller, higher, whatever. It can explain so many things, but when I was a student, that made no sense, right?
Yeah.
So when I get feedback like that, I'd be like, I didn't ask the right questions at the right time. So when I went home for the day, I had all those questions when it's too late. So instead of emailing my teacher at 2 in the morning, I just made 5 different versions of what I think he might mean for every single note. I know, madman. Um, but in a hindsight of things, I did 5 times more work, right? So there's
Mm.
5 times practice, redoing the same work but in a different way, different versions, different variation of timing, spacing, and posing. And I think that really helped me get to where I am today, just because I'm like, I asked the right questions now. but I show my work early now too, so that's a
Yeah.
good thing, I guess.
Insinia, how close are you to completing Charity Falls Part 3? Weeks away.
Miles off.
You're
Miles
weeks
off.
away?
Yeah, it's not even close. Watch
Uh,
Charity Falls. There's an
Is
episode
that
one.
Chris? Who is that? Is that
Dashy.
It's Dashy. Nice.
Yeah, I'm like Chris, but better.
Oh, I for a minute there, without looking, I was like, "Is that Chris?"
Yeah, it's not Chris. No, I've actually got I've got a taste of humor.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Chris, alright. How
You know
is
that new
everything?
project that you have, Josh? That the one that you have in mind?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think that's going to take you compared to episode 3?
So I'm going to focus on the model of the ODST and the ODST pod.
Okay.
Because they're like the main assets, right?
Right.
But I also need to model Banshee, Longsword.
Oh, snap. Okay.
You've got the frigate.
Got the frigate, so I would probably use that. I kind of want to make a super carrier
Yeah,
just
boy.
because they look cool.
Yeah, they do.
You need to model it, or is that something that you can have like a what do you call it, a matte painting in the far
It
distance?
it could be a map painting, but I'd probably model it because I'd want to use it in a few different shots.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So there's quite a few models. So I'm not going to be putting like pressure on myself to get it done in a certain amount of time because I know I won't be able to stick to it. But I definitely don't want to be spending another year on a project.
Wait, Josh, did you tell me about it was you who had the idea to redo like certain scenes from Halo, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's like the
Like
other
stuff that's-
project.
Yeah, that's stuff that wasn't like cutscene based.
Yeah, so I might do that one next whilst I'm modeling the ODST
Yeah,
because
can
that
you
one
picture
won't
what
take
yours
too
is gonna
long.
look like? Yeah, because it's just small snippets, isn't it? It's like a 15-second,
Yeah.
20-second kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, that although that one is still quite a lot of work because it is like a one take shot.
Yeah, especially the first thing that you mentioned for that. I don't know how much I can say, but there was quite a bit of snow.
Yeah,
I'd
that
imagine there's going to be a sim.
could be a big old or quite a few different. It'll be like little sims that'll be put together at the end. But there's that, and then it's also I need a Wraith. Like it's almost like I need to go through just the library of Halo and then just run through and just model my own versions of everything. So I have like my own little asset library of stuff.
Yeah, I'm currently I'm in that business right now of just like ripping so many models from like Halo 3 that I want to rebuild myself and learn how to model.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, I've seen you can make cool shit. You know what I mean? I've seen Absiv's work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've just blown away by it constantly, especially his remake of the Halo 3 Marine, which
Yeah.
was just astounding. And I just want to be able to go, I've made something of that ilk and to
Yeah.
come up with it. But for now, I'm trying like environment stuff, so I'm holding off on like rendering Halo themed stuff. I just really want to do like environments and just learn how to make decent environments, what textures go where, how lighting works, and just make a scene from a reference image that looks, believable, like passable.
If I'm
Not
honest with you,
realistic, but
oh,
yeah,
go ahead. My bad.
that's alright. I'm done now.
If I'm honest with you, like I'm not at that level where I could make armor on like a already sculpted body. Like I am.
I think
I'm
you'll be surprised at
decent,
how
alright.
easy it is.
I mean, yeah, I just don't know the methods yet. Like I literally just don't know anyone who's kind of willing to sit me down and show me kind of the methods of making armor based
I
off
don't
of
really
like
know if
already
it is
done.
like
I don't think you need someone to sit you down. Like the way I learned, you just try it out. You like maybe make a few mistakes the first time, I don't know, making a shoulder pad. And then like the third time you do it or second time you do it, just like making the shape, you figure it out.
yeah.
There's not
Because in
much
my
else to
mind,
it.
when I was first starting, I was like, oh, I should just take a cube and start, making that cube what it is. And obviously, it's stupid. I realized that okay,
Default cube.
yeah, maybe it's just better if I just model out this helmet in different shapes. That's one thing I actually did learn. But when it comes to actually building a helmet, I'm still kind of clueless. It'll be something I learn at some point, just not now.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near that point. I've not even modeled like my first thing fully yet. But like the thing is, I want to get to that point. Like that's the end goal. Like it's definitely not my goal right now. Right now, I'm just learning how to put basic things together to make a nice environment. So this first one I'm working on now is literally just going to be like a couple of floors, walls, and maybe some intricate patterns on the wall that would just be outcropped a little bit. So it's just like it's not just a square,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out lighting, and then I'll develop it from there and go, okay, well, what can I add? How can I add depth to it? Add
Yeah.
glows into parts of the wall so it looks like brickwork as opposed to just actual textures. And just like develop it over time. But I've got to start somewhere before I get to that point. So this is like the rough sketch before the Mona Lisa kind of thing.
yeah.
But I'm aware that it's not like a super easy thing, and that you're fucking leaps and bounds ahead of where I'm at.
Not really dashy.
Well, in terms
Way
of
way too
modeling,
far
you are.
behind.
Yeah, in terms of modeling, you're miles ahead of where I'm at for sure. There's no debate about that at all. Because I've not modeled anything yet. So one day, one day.
I thought about actually legitimately going back to school and taking like courses and stuff for modeling and stuff. And then I kind of thought about, it, I'm like, well, I mean, do I really need to do that? Like,
Well, my experience with education, not brick and mortar schools, but like animation specifics, like we're talking about like the leaders in animation schools, right? My experience with them is like I've self-taught most of the time, and that every few often like take a workshop, my brain explodes with technique that I never even thought of to speed up or faster turnarounds, or even like it's just breaks my brain on how I did it the old way. Like sometimes someone's just showing you something that you never even thought of how to do something can change the way you work completely, and it changes your quality bar or the speed or both at the same time. But that's for animation. I don't know about modeling. um so yeah.
yeah. My course of thought was like, I do not want to experience that shit ever fucking again. They call higher education like ever fucking again. So I was like, maybe
Right.
in the future I'll just take online courses, like legitimate, like
Yeah.
focused, in-depth focused courses instead of doing all
Right.
the extra bullshit that doesn't fucking matter and whatnot.
Yeah. The only brick and mortar place I can think of that I will always trust no matter what, and that's
But
because
the
I haven't taken it yet, but Animation Collaborative. Right now, I mean, they're online because of COVID, but those guys are Pixar guys, and I mean, I just took their online like super short version last month, and it would just break my brain. My brain, it just destroyed it. Imagine if I was there and actually taking the course and actually like doing their assignment and getting feedback directly from them. Like I can't imagine. My old roommate's now a Pixar animator because he went through it.
bruh.
I mean, that's amazing.
wasn't your old roommate that dude that was like absolutely insane?
I had several roommates. My very first roommate he was teaching at a local college, Animation 101, while taking that course, got hired by Pixar, and now he's there. Like that's his job now. Like he worked on Incredibles, Coco, and things like that. Um, like that's amazing. And
Incredibles
then I had
1 or you talking
two,
about
two,
2?
two.
Okay. I would say, well, it's a long
No, no,
time ago.
I wasn't really. I wasn't even in high school when the first one came out.
Whoa.
But yeah, I had other roommates who were pretty damn good too, but they didn't get anywhere. So it's like
And you told me a story about like how some of them literally just dropped down, and became like pharmaceutical workers and whatnot.
I
Just
had
sad,
some, yeah.
you
I
know.
mean, it's whatever. I mean, I had a friend who was and online education is not everything either. I had friends who took animation mentor, which is one of the I wouldn't say best animation school, but at the time there was only that school, which was pumping out amazing animators, will look better than my standard at least. Um, but yet she stopped animating because she couldn't make it. She couldn't get a job, which is weird to me. Um, her backup plan is to go to engineering school, and now she makes triple what I make as an engineer. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Wow.
It's like that works. But animation's not for everyone. It's a lot of yeah, it's just hard, but also, I mean, it's rewarding. But I feel like the things that make animation hard to swallow as a career is is that self-doubt constantly. Like I don't know where I'm going to get my next job. I just don't.
It definitely makes it interesting.
Yeah. I feel like because in video games, right? In video games, it's very contract heavy. So, I mean, talking to my coworkers and their contract is it's not ending soon, but it's soon enough. And we're all thinking, and it's just a time contract. It's nothing to do with when our game releases or not. And it's just we're like, what are you doing? They're like, dude, I need to come up with something from a reel because I don't have anything from a reel, or I need to find a new job before, insurance is in America, insurance is tied to your job sometimes. That's scary not to have insurance, you know? So, especially right now. It's right now.
Obamacare.
Yeah, I have to sign up for Obamacare if I
Obamacare.
lose my job. I really do because it's like, yeah, okay, shit. Like I will never be uninsured ever again after what happened last year to me. So I don't want
As
to ever go through that shit ever again.
as Ned, hey, I want to make short films like what you do, but I don't know if I can. Do I have to ask the studio again if I can make a short film? No, if you're making, you can make fan projects like however you want.
Yeah.
Go for it.
There's a lot of resources online for animation now.
Yeah.
But you want to choose the right one. So I think my recommendations is Sir Wade on YouTube is a great resource. Um, Sir Wade. Uh, he he has his own Discord and his own channel about mostly almost all of it actually in as animation. Very beginner friendly, lots of tool talks, lots of like simple stuff, and he also streams here on Twitch as well. Not as I haven't caught him very often, but he's a pretty good one. Um, who am I thinking of? Um, a lot of people on Twitter, animators on Twitter, are on YouTube too. Let's see.
I'm a Twitter artist. I gotta get the Twitter clout, them Twitter likes, and like that follow from Isaac Hanford, bro. Bro, that shit. Absolute came out with this new model, man, and it's like $800. I'm about to drop that money for it.
Wait, what is it?
An Abyssive model,
No, I mean like, what's the model?
Marine model.
Oh, is that the
You
one
don't
I was
get the
just
you
talking
don't, you
about?
don't you don't get the joke, do you? He doesn't get it. He
No, I
doesn't
probably
get it.
don't.
So, there's a homie we know we come when VC with called Kawaii. The running gag
shit,
has
yeah.
been that the running gag has been like he's been like an Abyssive fanboy that's been like ultra duper obsessed with this man and takes great pride in buying models from him. And like the joke was, it's like, well, why don't you just learn how to model yourself? He's like, but no, I gotta buy that model. He's like, and like he spends a stupid amount of money on buying models and stuff, and it's kind of a joke. He can just kind of do it
I'm
himself.
still surprised that Absiv's got the balls to sell
Yeah, that dude's
Halo
crazy.
models.
He's in a very
He's
dangerous spot with that.
earning a lot of money.
Yeah, but
Who
I
are you
think at this
talking
point
about?
he can afford to pay for the fucking lawsuit that comes up. He fucking
Yeah,
it's quite a bit of money.
definitely kind of taking the piss a little bit with it,
Making
but
bank. Yeah.
Power to him though. Fuck it, I can't do anything of that scale.
Who you talking about?
I
there's
mean,
a guy called Avisu on Twitter who makes like Halo models.
And they're fucking amazing. Like they're really good.
Josh, what do you actually think about his models? Just besides point that he sells them, what do you actually think about
They
his
Said
models?
they
on
they
mute.
do look cool. The proportions are always a little bit weird, but they do look cool.
Yeah,
The
I've got
models
Abigail on
themselves
screen
look
now.
great. Like the quality is
The
great,
quality
but
of models are really cool. Yeah.
some of them, not all of them, but some of them, like uh, Infinite Chief he did, the Gen 3 Chief, looks a bit
Okay, that was
off.
yeah, that was a bit
Tuna,
weird.
did you want the models?
I just want
And
to
I
see what it looks
also
like. That's all.
getting my hands on the Abyssus model as well. One thing that I've noticed is kind of common with his models is the UVing is a bit, you know, odd,
Yeah.
but that's a nitpick.
I think the best one he's done, in my opinion, is the Halo 2 Elite.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that was
He sells
awesome.
these?
Yeah, these are made by him. Yeah, made and textured by him.
Kawhi actually bought that model. He bought that elite
Yeah, I
model.
saw that in one of his renders. Yeah, I really like the Marines though, because I think the Halo 3 Marine to me was like
He also bought the
even cooler.
Marines as well.
I'm surprised he makes money off of this, knowing
Dude,
that. That's crazy.
he makes
He's being
bank
dangerous,
off of
bro.
it.
He's being
Yeah?
dangerous.
Like one of the models would be like 400 quid or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like for a basic model. Like the
And
Mark IV, I heard was commissioned by what's his name, Vin. That
The
thing
thing is,
sold for
it's
$1,000.
that word that makes people think they can get away with selling stuff. It's saying, "Oh, but I commissioned it. So I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to sell it because I commissioned it." It's like, no,
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 that's the
no,
thing.
still
You
you're
that's
still
not.
that's
sell like
not
someone
how it
else's
works.
IP.
I'm looking at the what is this Infinite Cortana model? I was like, he did this? He or she did this?
He
Jesus,
did that. Yeah,
he did this?
I like
he
that
got he
one. I
got
think my favorite one he's done
Wow.
is the marathon armor. I think that's my favorite one, just because I'm a sucker for marathon. It's really cool to see like
crazy.
Who
Is
is
that
this person?
that dude models in Blender. Like it's not even like add-ons or anything. He models in like Blender 2.7, I think, before
But
like the whole UI update came out.
Blender's
Is
got
this
pretty
person
good modeling tools, hasn't it? I've
is
heard.
this
No,
person a
but
professional?
base like Blender modeling
I,
tools are kind of
I think
lacking,
they're just
especially in
like a
2.7.
hobbyist.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I
he's a
think
hobbyist.
so.
He's not high in industry. I've not seen anything about it in
I
AAA either.
wouldn't
So
be surprised if this person got brought on board and got
yeah, I
trained
wouldn't be
up
surprised
by
either one
someone
bit.
who's like imagine this person got hired by someone, right? And they were under wings of a really like a master sculptor. Like imagine,
Yeah,
like
right?
I'd like to see. I think because the work he puts into these models, I think it would be really really interesting to see what Pixel Flare could do with some of these models. Just
he's
just
actually used some of his models before
who
Pixel
does he
Flare
in.
use?
has
Just
some of his models.
Are
oh
these
Yeah,
models
he's
rigged up
actually used some of his
and
models.
are these rigged up or is it just a model?
I'm not
No,
sure
he
though.
rigs them, but the rig's pretty horrendous. I've seen the rig; it's pretty horrendous. But yeah, they're rigged.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think the thing that makes him just unattractive, right, hiring wise, is the fact that he uses Blender, and that would probably take a considerable amount of time to take that
Convert.
mentality. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what makes him so unattractive. Now imagine if he learned this stuff in like Maya or 3DS, like that dude would most definitely have a job by now.
Like, can you imagine teaching yourself modeling and of course you'd use the free software Blender and getting that good? Jeez.
Can
That's
you
I'll get there
impressive.
imagine
one
though?
day, just not
Being
anytime
that
soon.
good and then realizing that like nobody wants to hire you and stuff. Like you're trying to get a job and like, oh, but I use Splendor, and it's like, well, we use 3D and Maya. Like
Yeah.
it's such a horrible position to be in.
But at the same time, like to an extent, surely like I don't say transferable skills, but like if he knows the
Yeah,
basics of
that is
how to model, he's literally just got to be
the
able
Right.
to set that into
fundamentals.
the program. Yeah.
I
The
feel like
fundamentals are still
if
the
you're
same.
using
It's
Blender, right,
just
and you're at a certain skill level, that's not necessarily hireable. They're not hiring you on. So, like, okay, for example, if I was animating in Blender and it's okay, right? It's not terrible, not good. Yeah, they might not hire me because I know only in Blender. However, if I was at his skill level, they'd hire. I would think people would hire him on potential alone, not anything to
yeah.
do with tools.
But I think if he were to get hired, someone would teach him, convert his skill into another
That's true.
program, which I use like 3D or Maya, one of the two. Really doesn't matter, but one of the two, and he honestly be really good. Like if he would convert his skills and bring it over, he'd be definitely like industry material.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dude is he's good. It's just he's the wrong like blender, which is kind of in a way holding him back. And I actually kind of spoke to Absif about this a while back in Choke Point VC, but he
I don't
seems
think
to
it
be
really
on.
matters on the software, to be honest. Because if you can model in Blender, you can model in Maya. Modeling is arguably the easiest discipline, apart from organic modeling, because
Don't say that, man.
that's
Come
it.
on.
But hard surface modeling, like it's not difficult. It's just it kind of just comes down to how quick you are at doing it. Um, but like organic stuff is tough. So if you're good at organic stuff,
You got
then
to understand anatomy, bro. Like
yeah, it's like a whole different ball game. Um, but like doing it in Blender or Maya, I don't think would really make any difference. Like they can both do the exact same things, just buttons in different places. I don't think that would stop him from getting a job.
I really love his the Halo 2 Elite that he's done. I love the turnaround that he did, where it's got like a little animation where the Elite just kind of
he does a
screams and then
turnaround for
ignites.
pretty much all of his models except a few of them. He's pretty much on turnaround for all of them.
I mean, like specifically the Halo 2 one, I really like that turnaround. Like for the Halo 2
Oh
Elite.
yeah, he had that animation where he was doing that kind of scream, a Halo 2 Elite scream. I think that was what he was trying to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Thanks
can
for
absolutely
showing
see
me
that.
that. It's crazy. I'm looking at it, I was like, damn, that's some like that's pretty high quality stuff. And I think I'm not sure if it's because of texture or if it's the model itself, polygon, the way he modeled it, but
I feel like the lighting probably helps.
yeah, the lighting helps a lot. I mean, like
Everything
the
looks good
Infinite
in studio
Cortana
lighting.
looks so nice. Like he went the mile to get it the same look from the trailer that we worked on, the one that we showed. Like he went super far to try and match it as much as possible. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like I think he's done. Again, I'm definitely not an expert on any of this stuff, but I think like I don't think it's like sort of out of my level when I say like it's really high end stuff that he's done, especially texture work. Like it's really hard, even in real
Right.
life, to get texture work to look believable.
Right.
As someone like who is more of a casual sort of
Yeah.
like prop and model sort of painter, I appreciate how difficult it is. So I can't imagine what it's like to sort of make metal in something and then add paint to it, but make it look like it's not just paint. You know what I mean? And make it
Right.
look like it's metal while still being paint. Stuff like that is like super super difficult. Like even in real
I
life.
yeah. I'm looking at the way he posed Cortana, the Infinite Cortana model, and I'm like, oh, I see it. I see what you mean by the rig being kind of not great with the pinching and the way he weight painted those geometry around joints. Especially the last one, you can see a pinching around. Um, like something is wrong with those legs. I can't tell, but yeah, something's somewhere it's pinching there. It's
It's just on the station.
Yeah, yeah, I've
yeah,
posted the outstation just because everything's there.
yeah, everything's there.
God, the
That's
Halo 3
interesting.
Marines are so good though. God damn. I think the Halo 3 Marine armor is peak Halo armor as well. Like
I
for me.
wonder if this person's using Substance Painter for all their,
It does say on
He
the web.
is.
Take a look at the
He's
Cortana
using
one.
substance.
Oh, let's see. Is this PBR
No,
materials?
like
There you
I'm
go.
telling you,
Substance.
he uses substance. Like
Yeah, yeah. Substance
dude
is.
uses
I
substance.
remember when they first demoed that shit in like studios, and they were just showing off like, oh, do you want to make it look like there's weathering on here? Here, take this bucket of sand and throw it at the model and see what happens. And it just creates
Meanwhile,
all the stretch
Mari,
mark.
absolute
Like,
panic.
I was like, what the frick is that? That's amazing. I remember all our modelers were freaking out. They were like, we need this.
Yeah, it's just like Adobe comes in. It's just like we come to claim your territory. Mari
Yeah.
balls just completely fall out their sack, like literally.
was just a weird time where like people are getting frustrated with the way texturing and material work was being done for so long already at that point.
Oh my god, the CE marine is really nice as well. He's done a lot of iterations of Spartan armor there as well. I'd be super interested to see like what would happen if he did something that wasn't like Mark 4, 5, 6 stuff. You know, like Recon or something. I'd love to see his iteration of Recon.
I'm pretty sure he's done that as well. He's done some Halo 3 sets.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his art station, but I mean,
All right, where's that loose one?
and the Halo 3 ODST as well is really good. Yeah, he's got those materials nailed though. Like everything, nothing looks out of place in any of them, apart from like maybe proportions. Like this one specifically, um, I just don't like how, and I know it's probably accurate to the game, but I really don't like how far up the back of the armor goes. Like, kind of just makes Chief look like a bit of a thumb.
Yeah. Man, Shang-Chi was so fucking good.
If I played the Halo 2 soundtrack in the background from a YouTube video, that DMCA me on Twitch?
I don't know
I
about
don't
Twitch,
know.
but on YouTube, yeah, you would.
Why don't you use the the royalty free ones from what's his face, from Michael? They're similar enough.
From who?
Do you mean Mitchell?
Broom? Mitch, what did I say? Michael?
The
Mitchell?
dude that did
Yeah.
the music for the shorts.
Yeah.
I could do, but he hasn't got any Halo.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know. That's questionable, right?
I know the Halo 1 to 3 should be absolutely fine, but don't
I
know.
don't think you'll get a DMCA on Twitch. I think on Twitch what will just happen is the audio will just be muted after the fact.
Hmm.
Like I don't think you'll actually get like a DMCA because I think a few of my streams, like where I've played Halo and the music's been in the background, I get like not DMCA, sorry, I get like the audio muted like afterwards. It's like if for any reason you want to save the Twitch stream, you're gonna want to save it like or download it right afterwards before they get to the point where they mute it. But I'm pretty sure you should be fine. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Reset this. Oh.
Speed animating.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna try and figure out how to make an environment. I've got a reference image.
What do you make your environments in?
It's the first time I'm making an environment.
Oh,
Like I only started like all this digital shit like a few months ago.
yeah. So
And
do
I've
you
not
make
modded
them
anything.
do you make them in Unreal or?
No, just Blender. My PC is cheap.
Oh, all right.
But this is the sort of environment I'm gonna try and create. I'll put it in the stream chapter.
Okay.
This is the kind of environment I'd like to create, where it's apart from like the detailed walls in the background, it's fairly simple. Because I really want to mess around with lights and see if I can get more sort of realistic tones. I say tones, sorry, just realistic effects. And it also means
Mhm.
I'll have to, go into Substance Painter and try and get a realistic sort of like material.
For concrete?
Like just in general, yeah. Like I want to try and make them myself,
Mhm.
so that I've got the understanding for how to do it in the future. Because yeah, I can use concrete textures from literally anywhere, from like bridge. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
why would I do that if I can learn to do it myself? I just think that'd be a really nice environment to sort of design, especially if the lights.
That's crazy, man.
But I'm gonna go and make myself a coffee. I'll be back in like 5, maybe 10 minutes if it decides to go for a smoke.
No worries.
Sweet, right?
Thanks. Put it in the edit.
Base switch.
The wrong.
Oh, there it is. Huh. Relative.
Rapid action animation. How are you? I'm doing good. Trying to rapid animate last few. Hide ice labs as well. Gotta make sure every now and again you stretch your back and just be actively thinking about it. Maxime, where do you work? And I'm guessing by that list of software, you're a generalist.
No.
Reese.
How's it 5 p.m. my time already? Jesus. What scene are you working on right now, Josh?
It's like the fourth shot from the end.
Go. Let me pull it up real quick just so I can see.
Hybrid technology.
Oh
Interesting.
shit. You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of Aliens.
That is the direct inspiration for this section, so that's good.
Ah, perfect. That's it. Okay, I didn't even know. It's
Do
kind
you
of yeah.
imagine it with more atmospherics?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it will
Are you gonna
hopefully
animate
look
those little egg sacs or pods?
not initially, but then they all start to move.
Oh yeah. You know, it'd be really cool if you see like it start glowing a little bit, like the light glowing in it. So you don't have to actually animate it. You can just see it, pulsating light. That'd be cool. Well, not cool, but just
That would.
might add to atmosphere.
That sounds like a lot of extra work. So I definitely won't be doing that.
Swan, we're trying to do YouTube good here, okay? We're not trying to make a movie.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that I wish I did differently for this episode.
Would you
But
ever try to work on a movie for YouTube? Like movie quality that you'd be like
if it was like
happy
one
with?
shot, yeah.
Maybe one shot or two shot or whatever? Like
Yeah.
a short sequence? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Like the next project, right? I just feel
The
like
the ODST
yeah,
one, I want it to be like the best quality thing that I've done.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like I feel like if you go lazy on that one, it'll fall apart,
Yeah, no, that one's gonna
right?
be a lot higher quality, I think.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to start it.
Are you gonna use virtual cameras for that? Or are you just gonna do
Um
hand key it all?
I might block it out with some virtual camera stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I always end up going back and being all myself. I do so much camera work at work that it's kind of just my natural go to just to run through it all and just key it.
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That shot's a little bit too animated for my liking. Whatever. Are we close to have Charity 3 being done? Yeah, we are. We are literal weeks away, I hope.
All right.
9.
Finally done with all this
You
junk.
are a fool
It's not junk. It's
for
not what you think.
coming here.
Thank you for the follow. Oh, yeah, and thank you for the follow, Spartan 038, I think it was. Not sure I mentioned that.
0398. Yeah, no
398.
problem. Didn't know you had a Twitch until now, so.
Yeah. Thank you, Blue Phoenix 627 for the follow. Yeah, I got quite a few follows today. What's going on? Weird. You were watching me boringly slow animate fun.
You know, I was just thinking about this, Josh, but Straws from Weta, who went over to Naughty Dog and now he's over at Insomniac. He used to stream on Twitch, and he just told me like a couple years ago before I went to 343 that like animation on Twitch is actually a small niche right now, or niche. Um, but there's a market for, not necessarily a market, but like there are people who are interested in it, you know.
That's really cool.
Just interested. Yeah, but there's just not a lot. And as animators, we're all working to pay our fucking bills, and a roof over our heads, you know.
Yeah.
So like he hasn't streamed for over 2 years because working on Naughty Dog takes time. Pretty sure that's the reason why is uh, that and moving over to Insomniac. Like, can you imagine having time to animate at night with kids and a wife or a husband? Like,
Yeah, that'd be tough.
yeah. Like a Blizzard animator. Well, he's not an animator now, but he's currently like in QA. But he used to be an animator at Blizzard. Um, Broken Tangent. He animates on Twitch every so often now, but I mean, even he's super busy. It's like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, alrighty. Okay, okay, okay. Is there any sound? Nope, no sound in here. Oh, by the way, did you have that talk today or yesterday?
Did.
Yeah.
It was
If you
interesting.
if you want to talk about it, like, how did that go?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It was an interesting talk. Um,
Oh,
it's just weird because like you've worked with the guy before, so it's like
you just you're just chatting then,
you
huh?
just you yeah, like it was like 70% just chatting, 30% them telling me the films they're working on.
Yeah,
Um,
those are the best interviews, aren't they?
yeah, it was quite. I was just like, oh okay. I was like, but I already knew the films they're working on, so I was like, this is cool. And then like, any questions? I'm like, not really, because half of your department are my friends, so I kind of know everything that's going on. I know all the stuff that's happening.
Right, right.
But it was more just like I
Yeah,
think they were sussing me out to see what I was about. But they're
yeah.
desperate for animators. And like after like literally like an hour after they were like,
Is that
oh, so
is that all VFX though in London? I
at,
mean,
at, the, at the
UK?
moment, yeah.
Why is that? I don't get that. Why is that?
Because there's a lot of films and not enough animators going around.
Now, okay, so in game, I don't know about you, but in game development, I have trouble trying to tell myself to go to, you know, to the east, right? And
Hmm.
partly because I already make more than all their leads in most game studios over there, like by
Yeah,
double. It's ridiculous how much more I make here. Granted, I owe a lot of money for going to school in America, but you know what I mean? Like when I learned that I made double the lead that's interviewing me, it's like, why would I even consider going there, right?
yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Are a lot of animators leaving to come to the US side of thing? Is that how it is? Or
Um, I think animators are just I think people are following projects quite a lot. So certain companies like end up not having very fun projects. So everyone just jumps ship and goes to a different company. But then we're in a weird situation where because of COVID, like some companies can't hire outside the UK. So the limitations of like there's just
I
not enough
see.
animators to do the
I see.
work.
You are a
Yeah,
fool for
I'm gonna get my
coming here.
passport proceedings started just to have it and see what happens. But we'll see what happens.
I'm cool.
Part of my brain is telling me I'm not gonna. I'm just doing just to see, just to entertain the idea. I don't even know uh if it's even possible. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I was reached out by a studio called Unbroken not too long ago. But I had to decline because I just got this fucking job. So it's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, too late. But they picked up some amazing animators. They picked up like 3 Blizzard animators. So it's like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Um, it's just weird, you know, weird right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people currently just putting out their reels, but just putting out feelers, not even trying to get a new job. But they're like, well, I wouldn't mind talking. Is what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
That's pretty much the position I was in. I was just like, I'm happy to talk about what
Yeah.
projects you
I,
guys are doing. I'm just
I need
interested.
to redo my resume because it's so bland. It's just, white piece of paper and fucking bullet point. It's like, oh gosh, I gotta clean this up, or
Just,
not clean it up, but like, make it cleaner and nicer looking.
I just did it off LinkedIn.
Oh, you know what?
I have
I
returned.
did think you said something about
Dude,
that. Oh,
it's like
what
game changer. You
what
never have to worry about your resume ever again.
what did you do? How'd you do it? So
You just go on your profile on LinkedIn and then go on more, and then you'll say something like save as PDF, and it
oh
literally
shit.
it turns your whole profile into a resume that looks really clean and nice.
Are you kidding me? There's a build a resume and save to PDF. Oh wait, let me see what one does. Save PDF. Oh shit, they just downloaded it for me. What the?
Oh
Oh
shit!
my god, this looks way better than what I have. Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
That's
friend
cool.
my friend at work told me about it, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna use this now.
Yeah, this looks. I mean, I probably need to clean it up because there's too much stuff and it's on 2 pages now. Oh crap. Let me see if I can edit it. More, build a resume. Resume you build on LinkedIn will appear here. Sure. Oh wait. Custom create from profile? Uh,
I need to learn how to white paint again. Fuck.
narrative animator? I don't know. It's just cinematic animator? What should I put?
Cinematic animator.
Let's just put that. Well, games have changed recently. Like it's weird because cinematic animators are not like almost completely a thing anymore in video games. It's shifted to this thing called narrative animator where you're a cinematic animator, but you're also in charge of like anything that's narrative. Like so anything that's in game that's a narrative. A vignette that's like you're playing, but yet the story is still happening. That can still be considered a semi-cinematic. It's weird. I don't know what's going on in the industry. There's a tonal shift. Wait, they said okay, skip that.
I am
Oh,
like
interesting.
fully cheesing this animation. He will definitely not be using his legs for this animation.
If you want to delete these skills, delete. So empty all these. Oh, let me preview this. How does it look? Oh shit, that it even has the logos of all the studios in it. Oh damn. All right. Sorry. Let's see. It's bad when your resume list is way too long and it doesn't fit in one page anymore. It's just that's not good.
SNES, it is a he. Fun.
Hmm?
Fuck.
I was just saying, my Spartan is a he.
I'm going to re-rig the entire thing. Are you kidding me?
That's interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I think I might go with that route because my current resume looks like crud. Just your typical Google, Microsoft Word resume builder, you know, nothing fancy.
That's exactly what I did. Like, I had a really shit resume made in Photoshop, and then I saw that, and I was like, I'm just gonna update my LinkedIn and let LinkedIn
Yeah,
do all the work.
but too many jobs on it now. So I'm like thinking, should I remove some of the older ones? Because it's making it very long. It's ridiculous. It doesn't deny the fact I worked on stuff. It's just more of like, oh, that's a lot of that's a lot of stuff. Which is a complete opposite problem I had when I was younger. Which is like, yeah, I worked at one place.
Fuck. What am I doing wrong here?
I don't want to sound rude, but why does the Spartan's ass look weird and stretchy? Probably the skinning, and probably because he wasn't posed correctly.
Can I just delete the armature? And
When he's
oh,
animated in the shots, you shouldn't see any weird skinning. Hopefully,
okay.
Action
it's-
editor.
I'm genuinely about to have fucking migraine. Holy shit.
I'm so sorry about that, man.
I'm I'm trying to rig
Mhm.
something, and the weight paint option isn't working, so I'm gonna re-rig it. Time to be alive.
I believe in you.
Thanks, because I don't believe in me.
Believe in me that believes in you.
That's asking for too much. Steps go to there. Okay, let's edit mirror X. Move
The
that
fuck?
over.
Are you kidding me? Delete. Please delete. God damn it. Why won't you delete? Dude, the hell's all that about? Delete the key, please. Oh, one or more attributes have been referenced, procedural or assembly-based animation, and were not modified. Oh, huh? I'm so lost. Why? What the fuck? Reference? Why is it reference? Oh my god, what is going on?
oh fun.
Well, I transferred some animation from Motion Builder to Maya, right? And the character's leg just freaks out for, I don't know, about 5 frames. I just wanted to delete the keys, just keep it clean. And the moment I move it, oh shit, did it work now? What the heck? I'm so confused. It won't update the animation at all. It's just weird. I don't know what's going on. Mm,
There's nothing on this planet I love more than rigging. It's so good. So much fun.
F hip FK control.
Josh, do you have any advice for um like not getting sick of rigging?
Um,
You can say
rig a low poly version, and then transfer the skin weight. Save yourself the pain.
all right, I know I've been like sort of doing this for a couple months now. What you just spoke was fucking gobbledygook. I have no fucking clue what you said.
Wait, what did you say to him?
I said skin the low poly, like way
Oh yeah,
paint the low poly, and then copy the skin weights onto a high poly.
do a transfer. Weight
Yeah,
transfer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, as someone who firmly believes in none of that, because I don't know what that means, I'm going to accept your advice and motion against it. And
Um,
instead suffer. But I do appreciate that. Thank you.
I
will
do
look into
feel
it
like
and-
weight transferring is difficult in general, um, if not done properly. So
But again, I'm
it's
also
rough,
like completely new to this entire scene. So
right?
like,
Well, an idea of painting weights or rigging to a low poly is like because it's less polygons to paint to the bone. It's a lot less work, right? And then what you do is you can take the map of each joint of what geometry they control. You can transfer that general data to a higher mesh.
oh right, and it just
Yeah,
auto balances all the stuff in between.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I'll have to look
However,
into that.
I think that I remember that there's being where you can rig a character and it does a heat map where each joint radiates a heat wave, like kind of like a sphere.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
how sort
closest
of Blender
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Oh, as painful as working on
Yeah.
the ABBA show was for me. Watch this TikTok. My girlfriend just sent me. Pretty
Oh
wholesome.
gosh. Let's take a look.
Don't know if you can hear it. Oh, I just closed it.
Smart man.
Basically, it is an older woman, an elderly woman, watching the trailer of the song. I think it's the song that I worked on, and she has a tear rolling down her face because she's that like happy about it. That's pretty wholesome.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of nice.
Okay, maybe. So let's just select all these bones. Nope. Okay. Yep. So like I say, I'm still very much new to all this, so I'm like just kind of struggling my way through right now. But I mean, I think I'm doing okay.
Been great, sweetie.
That's the same way 00 talks to me, man. It's like really weird. I messaged him the other day just to check up on him because I've not spoken to him for a while, and he just like sent him a message like, "Yo, how you doing?" He was like, "What's up, cutie pie?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, don't talk to me."
This is my strong hand. Oh,
Funny you should mention that. I'm currently rigging some fingers.
good luck. Are you rigging in
Thank you.
Maya?
I can't afford Maya.
Okay.
We've discovered and discussed this already. I live
There's
in
a
like
there's a skinning tool called NG Skin Tools, which I was going to recommend, and it is absolute godsend when it comes to rigging. It makes rigging pain-free.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna share screen real quick. You don't have to watch. Obviously, I'm just sharing screen in case anyone wants to watch me suffer.
Right.
Like I said, I'm very very much new to.
You know, are you happy with my animation? I've just done the last like half an hour.
Let me see. I'm watching now.
You proud of me?
I'm very much proud of you, you know.
Pretty shit, isn't it? Makes me sick.
I know you can animate better than this. That's what makes it make me angry.
Don't tell anyone.
Oh, okay. Shh.
Bean, hey Bean.
I just love that you go straight for, you know, no iron sights or anything, even though it's fictional world, fictional everything, but yet straight to the chest.
He's shooting from the chest.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god, over Nick, you haven't.
She did that again.
Why?
Gonna read.
Why would you raid me, Uber Nick, with all your?
Coming
He's
here.
actually raided you.
Oh,
Fucking
for
what?
God's sake!
Just now, yeah. I
He,
was
he
looking
legit
at Cap
has.
I feel bad. I just asked him to shave his head again.
Coming here.
Nick, you are a crazy man. I love you, but you're crazy. Why are you bringing your people here? I'm doing boring animation. I don't get it.
I can change your jobs. We all know that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who's following. I can't keep up with all the followers.
Coming here.
Oh my god.
It's just gonna be
What do you think?
constant. It's gonna be constant. I'm gonna watch so as well. Bring them.
Coming here.
Hey, I'll be streaming for another hour. Doing very slow animation.
Have you and Uber Nick like sat down and
Coming
just chatted
here.
before?
Have I what? Sorry.
Have you chatted with him like just on screen together?
I haven't like
Coming here.
I've chatted to him in like DMs and stuff a fair few times, but not like by voice. But I watch him all the time on Twitch and stuff. Even
Yeah.
awesome.
Same here.
I just like him because he's good vibes in a community that is full of a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of
There's a lot of hate channels.
there's a lot of hate channels. I mean, yeah,
There's a lot of hate
there's
channels.
a lot of good channels, a lot of hate channels.
Coming
Oh, well, I wouldn't say hate, but what's the word? Highly critical? Is that the word? Yeah, I
Highly
would say
critical,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really enjoy his energy when I watch.
Yeah. Thank you everyone
'cause I-
who came from Even
Yeah.
Extreme. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys had a good stream.
Halo's
I forgot to
Halo.
do
We will
this.
follow.
I forgot to
know.
do this yesterday for you, Josh. Here you go. Hold on.
What is this going to end up being? So this is. I wonder if this is essentially the third episode of my miniseries on my YouTube channel, which is the same thing, same name as my Twitch name. So if you search on YouTube Halo VFX, you'll see my channel. I'll post the link.
Actually, every time you get ready, you should probably fill them in what you're doing so they don't just.
A lot of
Be like-
people don't know what I do.
Yeah, no. I mean, you just got started, right? So.
I just got started, but this is basically the next episode to my mini series called Charity Falls. I will post the.
Actually,
we will watch the teaser together.
Yeah.
Okay, we will.
Dashy, you subbed. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I meant to do it yesterday and then just completely not Pete, you admiring your own work. You can't.
I'm just watching it, yeah.
Coming here.
See, you say it looks like I'm admiring my own work, but I'm literally watching it and I'm like,
You're
oh,
I could've done that better.
God, yeah, I'm literally just like, oh, God, it could look so much better than what it does, but
That's what I'm thinking about your current animation. I was like, I bet
Hey.
you with the lighting and the right rendering, it's gonna look amazing. Right?
the lighting and the rendering, yeah, that's the trailer,
And
Apples.
like all. Yeah.
That's the trailer for this episode. Yeah, when this is all lit and stuff, it will make it look better. Good lighting, good atmospherics will make good animation look good. That's my motto. Very long-winded motto. Tuna, I'm classing the shot as done. I don't even care anymore. It's done.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, the moment you hit render on that and you start throwing lights and effects on it, it's just gonna be amazing. It's gonna be good.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've been
Shock of
I
watching.
I think my computer's been on for the last 4 days straight, where I've been animating throughout the day at work, animating in the evenings, rendering overnight, render whilst I'm working, animating in the evenings. It's like a
You
constant
don't use the
cycle.
same computer for work and
Yeah,
for
yeah,
projects, are you?
yeah.
You do? Oh my goodness.
It's a beast. It's helping me out a lot.
You are a fool
Yeah,
for
I've been
coming
looking at building a
here.
PC right now. So after you showed me the caching, now I want a 3090. Like I,
You
yeah, fuck
are
me.
a
Hey,
fool
why stop at one?
coming here.
Do what I do and get
Yeah.
two.
You have an SLI on that?
They're
Oh,
not
great.
SLI, no, but I've got two.
So you have two cards on your machine
I
and
have
they're
two
not SLI together?
I wonder if I can show it. Wait.
It's just
Exclusive.
on your
You can
Epic
get a really
Games.
big zoom of my face, but you can also look
Uh,
my rig. I don't know if you can actually see this.
2 RTX
Wait,
3090.
let me use my phone.
Yeah, yeah, and use your phone. Take a picture of that sucker.
So that
Easy.
is my PC. You have
Jeez.
one GPU, and then the founder's card underneath it. There's two 3090s.
What are you doing? So are they both rendering separately or like what's
They
going on?
both render the same frame.
Okay.
So just twice the speed on the same frame.
It's twice the speed. So basically, the more cards you add, it halves in speed. There's diminishing returns if you add in
The
way too many.
moment you showed me GPU caching for Maya, it's the moment I was like, I need that in my life forever.
Oh, dude,
From
Nick's
now
mute,
on.
by the way.
Hmm?
He says,
Nick's just sheesh.
yeah.
Nick, get yourself a 3090, man, and then never look
Because
back.
that's
Never look back.
because that's easy.
You
Yeah.
are
It took me 6 months to get the second one, and I had to get a friend to buy it for me. I sent my friend like $1,500, and I texted him. I was just like, "I've just sent you money. Can you just buy me a 3090?" Because like the website wouldn't let like I had got it in my cart like 9 times. Every single time my card got declined because I think it knew that I had bought one like a year before.
Mm-hmm.
So I messaged my friend. I was just like, "Please, can you just like I've sent you money. Just buy it. Make an account and buy it right now." And
I feel like
he
I
bought
mean
it.
I'm using a 2080 Ti right now, and you know 20 series is really good. I mean those are better than the low end Titan cards from the generation before. Like think about that for a second. And even that's not enough to even render 600 frames cached. You know, it's like more than 600 frames is just like it says no to me.
Yeah.
Jesus, like I need a 3090 now. Now that I'm exposed to how fast my frame rates are for during
I have to
basic
say, like,
animating.
not
Yeah.
everyone needs a 3090. Like,
Oh no.
I specifically need it because I'm rendering constantly on my stuff on my machine. Like, episode 3 would not get done if I didn't get the second 3090. I would still be halfway through it at this
You'd be
point.
like 20 shots behind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I went from rendering, so you got 24 frames in a second. Each frame was rendering in 6 minutes or 4 minutes or something on my old setup where I had a 3090 and so I originally had a 2080 Super and a 1080, and it was rendering in like, so episode 1 the frames were like 14 minutes or 20 minutes a frame, which when you got 24 frames in a second, you can see how long it takes to get one shot done.
Wait, so you're rendering in Arnold, right?
Redshift.
Redshift. Okay.
Yeah. So it's all
when you-
GPU based.
Right, so it's all GPU based, but when so what's your like output settings? I'm assuming it's 1080 by 60.
I'm rendering in 1920 by 1080, but in the render it's 1920 by like 900
So
because
when
of the
it
black
said
bars.
when I said by 60, I meant for frames per second.
Oh,
What's the-
24 FPS. So
Okay, yeah, 24
like
frames.
filmers. Yeah.
Okay, so 1920 by 1080 at 24.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do some math here. One frame is what, 5 minutes?
So okay, you can do the math. The amount of frames for episode 3. Oh, I don't know if I just spoiled the last shot.
Nah, you're good.
Okay. So there is 7,945 frames in episode 3 so far. So if you, on average, I would say my frames rendering were like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So if you do 3 times 7,945 divided by 60, that's how many hours it takes to render the whole episode.
Oh fuck that! I'll just take your word for it and assume that's a lot. That's
I
too much
mean,
maths.
It's
that's
quite.
nothing compared to like how long it takes to animate 1 second. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Then you got to
Yeah.
animate it all. And
yeah.
I'm literally just clicking between programs. I need to actually like, what am I doing? Okay, so this is shot 68. I just saved over the same thing twice. I've just confused myself.
I also think it's really cool for like.
Did I save that?
I love like the way you do the stream as well. It's really cool for people to sort of get behind the scenes on how all this kind of stuff is put together in the first place.
Oh yeah.
Like up
Yeah.
until I mean, I kind of knew sort of how CG stuff was done, but like I'd never sort of been exposed to the sort of background of it until I started like joining your before you were like streaming on Twitch, like when you were just streaming in like Discord.
Yeah.
Like until then, I had no idea what was going on, and then I saw the shit you were doing, and I was like, I'm
Oh.
gonna, I'm gonna start doing this. So like I started like cracking on with that then.
It's cool. It's cool
Like
to show it off, especially like because I get a ton of questions. So it's cool, kind of answering questions to people who don't know anything about visual effects. Because a lot of people think it's like super easy. It's like computer does everything. You click a button, and animation cut. You mocap everything and it's done. But they don't understand that you can never just
Right.
mocap something and call it done. Like an animator has to spend probably it could be like a week on one shot cleaning up the mocap,
Nick
which
says
you'll
how long
never
episode
see. You just you see marketing of a guy in a mocap suit and you assume that's it, but it's not. The animator has to go in and fix it all. But
Yeah.
Uberdick, I'm eyeing up a 3080 Ti. Hell yeah,
he
get it,
also
man.
asks how long episode 3 will be.
Episode 3 is going to be at the moment 5.5 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Nice.
That is cut short from the original length, which was going to be 6 minutes. But that's just because if it's going to be all the shots that I was going to put right at the end, it means that I wouldn't get this done till the new year. And I kind of want to just bring it out because I feel like it's time. And if I can just do, I'm literally on. I'll show you, Nick, how close I am to the finish, which is why I'm kind of getting more and more hyped for this. This grey bar in Premiere, so this is the whole episode. This little grey bar is what I have left to finish. So
Zoom out so we go. There we go.
So I need to put this shot in. So let me just play blast this quick. Okay, we're gonna save over and hope it works. Dude, I'm so close. I'm so close. And Mitchell, who you spoke to, yesterday, he sent me like a kind of first. He's like sketching out the music in the moment for the whole episode, and I haven't like listened or watched the edit with any kind of music for the last year. So as soon as you put the music towards it, it sounds completely different. And like I heard it, and I was just like, "Oh, it's gonna be good." Because he's like a proper
That-
composer. Like he
That's
knows.
like 100% everything I've worked on.
Yeah,
The
it sounds
music
so different. And
made
like
it
I haven't even done the
so much
sound
better.
effects, and when the sound effects go in as well, like again, it makes you go like, "Holy shit, this is actually like it's gonna be pretty cool at the end."
It's like real.
It's like it's a real project.
Real. It's a real thing.
It feels weird as well because like I feel like I don't know. I've seen like episode 3, but in episodes at like maybe a frame every couple of weeks, kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I know like the layout. I know what episode 3 is going to be,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like it's.
That's the thing, but people have seen that on the
It's actually
YouTube as well.
great.
Like I've been pretty up to date with like putting out screenshots and stuff of like I will finish the scene that evening or like finish a render and I take a quick screen grab, put it up on YouTube. But those screen grabs are probably gonna look really different when you see it in the final thing because I haven't like my voice is cracking all over the place because I'm a man child. But those frames are gonna look completely different in the final episode because I haven't done any like final composing on it. Which is like I don't even know how it's gonna look yet because I haven't set it up.
Yeah, and like there are people who look at
But
those screenshots, myself included, and they're like, "Oh, this looks amazing." It's not even like it's still there's so much. I don't say so much, but like
yeah,
there's a lot to do on it still.
I'm super excited.
Dude, I'm excited to see the full thing because like
I'm
I've
just
seen it in
excited
like
because
really
it's
ridiculous.
legitimately a year worth of evenings, like every day for a year near enough. I think I've had probably 5 days, 5 or 6 days in the last year where I haven't touched this episode in some form. So it's almost like a year of my life working on this project after my day job.
Yeah,
So
dude,
seeing it actually like come to an actual finish, I'm just so happy about. Who knows? It might come out and people will be like, "That was shit," and I'll be like,
I don't
"Another
think
one."
anyone is going to
We'll see.
because like
I never think
that's
anything I do is good, so I always assume there's going to be a load of people going, "That wasn't worth it."
yeah, but you're like, oh, you sat there like, oh, I don't think anything I do is good. Like you don't have people on Twitch, like you don't have like a
I have
YouTube
people on Twitch
following
right
because
now
of the fucking
because
awesome shit you do.
like a massive YouTuber just raided me.
Yeah, and he likes your shit. Like, do you not see the?
Yeah,
It goes back, like, and you've got a following on YouTube because you do this cool shit.
yeah, but
I mean, you're gonna be
I'm
your own
paying
biggest
him to
critic.
like it. That's what you don't get. No, I'm joking. I'm not really.
Okay.
Can you
Oh my
imagine?
god.
Imagine if I like pay people to like my YouTube.
So can someone like clip that for us?
Please don't. Right. So this is got to 68 play blah. 68. This is definitely shot 68. Numbers.
I felt so bad when you were like, "Oh, Nick, what have you done?" And I was like, "Has he shaved his head again?" You were like, "No, I'm getting ready." I was like, "Fuck." So you say, okay.
Dude, I was laughing in the stream when he was shaving his head, and then like when it finished, I was like, it just suits him, and I was just like,
It
ah.
really suited
I
him,
was like,
yeah.
that's such an
Wait,
anticlimactic end. I thought it was gonna look ridiculous, but I was just
wait,
like,
he
yeah, that
shaved his head?
works. Yeah, he shaved his head. I think was it like for charity? It was like a special
Oh
event,
my
right?
gosh.
I think it was like a charity thing, right?
Yeah, and like at the end of it, I was just like, that sucks. It just suits him. I was like, I want him to look a fool. He doesn't.
What if I shaved my head? Like, you know what my hair looks like, man.
You would look so different.
I would look extremely different, yeah.
I'd be curious
I'm
to
not fucking
see.
doing it.
All
I'm not doing it. I don't know
right,
how long I'm gonna have hair for, so I'm just
true. I mean, my hair would grow back within like a month, but I have such a massive head. I have like a melon head, so I don't. I think me being bald just wouldn't look good.
yeah, like the hair like defines like the shape of your head.
Yeah. Play blast, play blast, play blast. Let's hope I haven't just overwritten a shot. I've done that like 4 times today. And then we bring it in.
Hi, Macarena. What the freak was that?
Maxime, you'll be able to say you inspired me to start portfolio work again. Hey, sick man. I'm surprised I inspire anyone.
Dude, like the reason I'm doing CG shit is because of you. So I say CG like I'm doing anything on your level. The reason I'm on Blender is because of you.
Yeah. Dashi, isn't it crazy how like because what Josh is doing, he's animating in grayscale, right? Like
Yeah, it's all like
we
viewfinder.
yeah, that's how it is over here in games as well.
Yeah.
I don't animate with textures on because it gets distracting. And the moment you see your shit in game or with lighting, music, textures in an engine, like with materials and stuff, oh my god, it's fucking cool. I don't think it ever gets old.
Is that you lurking, Nick? Go lurk for a bit. Nice. Lurk away, man. Thank you for the raid, man. That's just insane. I just feel sorry for everyone watching because it's really slow, and you'll see me click between loads of different programs a lot of the time because I forget what I've done, and then I have to click back into where I was to realize. Like literally, like right now, I've just forgotten what I was doing. I need to actually watch this, see if this works.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna get back to weight painting this fucking model. I need to watch tutorials on how to like do it properly with this program, man. I've done it before, but I just keep forgetting all the shortcuts. So I just end up like pressing all the wrong buttons repeatedly, which is like really fucking frustrating for me. So before I link them, let's save.
Ooh, how many shots? Oh my god, I'm literally 1, 2. I'm 3 shots before the final big shot. Ooh. So close.
Right, model, armature, right click, parent, auto weight.
One.
No, I just realized I
Oh.
don't know if anyone's messaging me at work because I turn off my chat program. Oh shit! You know, I,
Everyone's just like, hey, you doing this shot? You're just like, just watching
no reply
Twitch.
whatsoever. Yeah, it's just like, oh god, oh no.
Oh
The
yeah,
game will never be made.
Dude,
Check, I
that's
forgot
not
to
a very
like.
good feeling. Oh god, please don't say that. I've had 4 canceled projects in my entire career, and it's a terrible feeling each time.
Hey, I've worked on films and TV shows for the last year and a half, and none of it's released yet.
That's not. This is me right now. 2 games, no release. When I was at Activision, I released a game every single year. Like you just pumping out games. Well, not pumping out, but like it's
No,
fast, right?
you can say pumping out. It's Activision.
Well, it's not necessarily that. On the cinematic team, everything is planned very carefully, and most like the studio I was at was a multi-game studio, so there's multiple different teams. So when you're done with one game, you jump into the next one. So and it's already ready for you to do your work. So you were able to make a game almost every year and a half almost. So it's like a lot. This is the first time I haven't shipped shit in 3 years. Like Halo and God of War. Like I don't know when the fuck that's releasing. So it's like,
God of War is Santa Monica, right?
hmm
Didn't they just hire that girl that was at Funhouse? It was like a creative writer or something.
I'm
Um,
actually not too sure. I
I can't
don't
remember the
really.
last name. I know her first name's like Alana. She's like an Australian chick.
Oh, Alana. Yeah, maybe you know what? I might have seen an email about that, but I don't really follow people who get hired or who don't. I mean, I'm busy doing my own shit.
I only know because I watch Funhouse. Or used to watch Funhouse a while ago.
Right.
Okay.
Um.
Okay, I think I
th-
got the weight painting. I'm at the stage where I can weight paint now. So
Save this before I ruin it.
You know what? You just reminded me to save shit.
should I control click? Doesn't select anything. Select shit.
It is 10
I
to 2 in
just
the
saved
morning.
my scene right now.
Everyone, if you're working, save your work before it
Yeah.
crashes.
hmm
Oh,
I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Whenever this thing releases, I feel like my LinkedIn like mailbox is gonna explode.
that would be cool.
I hope it does. I hope it does. I'm scared. I don't know why. Like I feel like Halo, yeah, as big of a project it is, that didn't get me any kind of like recognition, for jobs, really. Um, maybe because it didn't release, but like even if I had my trailer shot in my reel, it still didn't like help me as much as I thought it would. But I don't know. We'll see.
Trying to find the chat. Ah, here it is.
Right, how do I do I make this one big shot? Or do I split it into shots?
Well, what do you have? Let's see. So which one is your first one?
This
The
is the
shotgun one?
first one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the next
So
one. and this is how it kind of finishes with him just backing up as these things will start like squirming,
Oh. Oh,
and
it's.
then it cuts
I
to the
see what
final
you mean
shot.
by directly inspired by. Yeah, okay. Oh,
It's
interesting.
very inspired by Alien. So my plan is
Interesting.
camera moving. I know what I want to do. Camera moving really slowly. So it's like this. Guys just moving. Speed animation. Um,
You have your head in local space?
yeah.
Nice.
Keys everywhere. So the back and forth. Weight shift.
Man, I got a presentation to do next Monday. Oh my God. Um, at our studio, we spin a wheel of fortune with everyone's name on it, and if your name gets picked, which I did, um, show what you got. What have you done in the last time? Since I haven't shown anything for like a year, I I have to do this conglomerate of videos for presenting.
Cool. Sorry, I'm mapping out this shot in my head, and I've now just turned it into like a big epic shot, and I really
Oh yeah.
didn't, but fuck it. It look cool.
Oh, I'm showcasing your tool at the presentation if that's okay.
Hey, that's my tool.
That I'll be like, Josh made this,
And they'll be
not
like,
me.
"Who's Josh?" And you'll be like, "Don't worry."
Don't worry about it.
I'll be
Just,
like, just.
hint.
I'll be like, "Yeah, it's got
Don't worry about it.
nothing to do with
Just
him. Don't worry about it."
just be happy he gave it to y'all. And he was cool
Which
with it.
tool? Which tool is it?
The bake anim tool and the bake to locator, fast bake.
My my little gems of scripts.
They're amazing. Everyone on the internet that listening, it's beautiful, most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh
Beautiful.
god.
It's weird because I've mentioned it and no one's using it.
Oof.
So I think I need to do like a physical presentation and comparison, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna try and figure out how to do a timer thing. Record. I think if you throw it in Premiere, it does a timer thing, and then you can just export that shit out or something like that. I don't know. Um,
Right.
I'll
So
probably do it on the weekend just to prove it.
right. So that's selected.
I'm playing in real time.
Right. Okay.
Gonna be tough to figure out how this camera's gonna work without feeling gimmicky.
How's the camera doing? Like, what
This
you mean
is
by gimmicky?
essentially
Like,
going to be like
Mhm.
a wanna,
oh, you're doing a mini oneer?
a mini wanna.
Nice.
But I need it to be.
Do you want my input?
Uh,
Sure. It's not necessarily an input, but more like some philosophies I've learned about oneers here.
to keep the camera calm.
No, not necessarily. You can move it if you want, but you want to make the camera feel like you're a Spartan, right? Like your camera is your Spartan, right?
Um,
Or maybe not.
kind of, not really. The camera's kind of reacting with the Spartan.
So in a sense, the camera is a Spartan in the same sense then.
Yeah, kind of.
Um, one of the few things we talk a lot about cameras here is don't have the camera above the head. You want it around the shoulder to the around the eyebrow level, and that's because in a sense you're putting your camera within that space, right, of the character. So if you go above them, it starts to disconnect your camera away from the character. But if you go below the shoulder, now it becomes like a child
Hmm.
that's just following along, and it disconnects it again. So it's a very tight line that you want to play with, um, and that might help you a little bit.
That is a good. It's good advice. I'm kind of
Yeah.
breaking it. Because I kind of want my camera to go above his head a little bit.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, it is space theme, so that might work better for this theme in general.
This is more so I can get the idea that it's doing like a full 360.
Oh,
There's
I see
kind of
what
like
you're saying.
a ooh. Is that the Spartan bouncer? Oh, okay. I see. It's gonna be.
There's a flashlight on your shotgun too, right?
Yep. So he's gonna
Yeah.
be. I'll be animating him so he basically points his flashlight wherever the camera starts to like look towards. Oh, this is gonna be a
Right.
big old shot now. I've just turned it into a massive shot. Why do I do this?
Dude, those orbital scenes like kill me in this inside.
They're tough to get right. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to
You know
spend
my
another
friend
day
started
on this, I
doing?
think.
My friend started doing this thing where he puts a disc, right? And he centers the disc around the subject matter. And then he start not necessarily constrain the
What?
camera to the
Yeah,
edge
yeah.
of the
I've done
disc.
that. I've done that before.
Yeah, and he started doing this thing where it kind of follows that orbital just so that it has a nice smoother rotation around it.
Yeah, I probably should do something like that. I'm too lazy at the moment.
Do you have any tips for white painting cloth?
And
Cloth.
cloth.
Um, in it.
But in this case, it's attached to a character.
You could copy the skin weights from like the leg. That
I
roughly
haven't done
follows.
that yet. That's the problem. I don't know how to sort of paint this really. Okay, that'll do.
I'm using Maya, Daniel. Sorry, I just saw the chat. Yeah, I never use Blender. Never touched it. Never will touch it.
How dare
Don't
you?
say
That's
that.
completely understandable.
Don't say that.
Maya is the 3D software that everyone uses in industry.
Mhm.
So for the people watching who don't know, I work in film.
You are a fool for coming
Thank
here.
you, Seawave. Yeah, so for everybody watching, I am an animator for Industrial Light and Magic, who are the guys who do all the visual effects for like Star Wars and Jurassic Park and everything. Just every film ever. No. We it's like essentially Lucasfilm. You know them by Lucasfilm, kind of the same company, but we do just the visual effects side of things. Um, and yeah, animation generally would be T-Wave. Would preferred not to be Flood. Rip. Hey, you joined the Flood. I have not worked on games. No. Only films,
And they were all shit.
and they were all terrible because of me.
No, from what I've seen of the stuff you've done, which is like all of it, because you showed me your what they call portfolio.
My showreel.
Yeah, showreel, I guess. Yeah. You showed me that a couple of times, and all the stuff you've done is fucking awesome.
Thanks, man.
And honestly, the lizard in the little lizard you snuck in is the highlight. I think. Like fuck everything else you've done. That lizard, class. Even though I didn't really notice it until you pointed it out. But knowing it exists makes me happier.
ILM was founded by George Lucas. Yes, it was. Or Georgie boy.
So by proxy,
Does
who's your dad
George
now?
does George actually ever actually visit Ireland nowadays?
He has done in the past. He's been in the office once or twice since I've in the last 7 years. But bear in mind, we're in London,
Have you met him?
not in San Fran. I haven't met him myself. No.
What do you reckon he'd say? Be like, "Oh hey Josh, I really
No,
like
he-
your
He'd be like,
Charity Falls videos. They're really good."
he'd be like, you aren't getting out of the way. That's my
Jar Jar is the
impression.
key to all of this.
Junior's probably watching this like, what the fuck are you doing?
Kiss my
Who,
rich
me?
ass.
Yeah. It's suspiciously
no,
quiet.
no, it's not that. I'm just animating a stupid cone. It's not stupid. It's important. It's an important cone, but yeah, it's loose. Just using a snap tool to just save my butt to cut it down in half the time. But it turns out everything gimbal locks because gimbal lock sucks.
Hey, that's what's happening to me right now.
Oh, you're running into that? Oh god, yeah,
Oh shit. Oh
dude,
no.
I hate
Fuck.
gimbal locks so much.
Shit.
And of course, this character has to walk and spin around like a million times. Like, thank you for making this a lot easier.
Why is my camera gimbal locking? God damn it.
Should just be Spine 5, right?
Josh, I believe in you.
No.
I don't.
Spine 5. Let's go to objects.
I need to go watch Free Guys. Apparently, it's a really good game dev movie.
I've heard it's going to be really good.
My friends said that it gives game developers a lot of like insight, like it gives a lot of like pretty damn close to the nail coffin on how it feels to be a developer. It's like, oh shit, really? They're like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's pretty great actually. It's like,
I've
oh,
I
never
want to
played
see it because it has loads of game references. I've heard it's kind of like Ready Player One in that sense, which makes me
oh,
really want to watch it.
yeah.
All I know
I
is they
like,
had a warthog like on the red carpet for the film.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
really?
Weird seeing Ryan. Yeah, they had like a full warthog that was like built there. There's a picture of like Ryan Reynolds like stood next to it, like full scale as well. So like Ryan Reynolds looks like a just like a midget next to it because the warthog is like beastly huge.
Massive.
Yeah, it's so cool. If I can find the image for you real quick.
I was wondering why it was so hot. I forgot I turned off this thing. Fucking AC, man.
Go through one by one. You know. Oh no, I just deleted the key and it just aims straight at his dick.
Yeah,
That's a
Ninja
really.
also sat on
I
my
like
list.
that. That's pretty cool, Josh. The white by the shotgun barrel. Tasteful.
Yeah, but you see how
That's.
the camera's doing this, and it's like
Oh shit! The background. Oh no! I see it. Oh no!
that's
Wait,
why I'm fixing.
you don't have a joint on top of the camera?
No, I don't have a joint on top of the camera.
Oh, not a joint. A group or a locator.
I'm not
Interesting.
clever enough to do that. Because look, it's gimbal locking.
Yeah, it's going nuts on you, bruv.
Oop.
Oh my gosh. See, I hate shots like those for that one reason alone.
Right,
Camera's
so I wonder if
so
I
hard.
do this, if this is going to make it better.
Oh my god. It's a new shot, right?
20.
Would it be easier if you start a new camera with just for this one shot alone, so that you have an easier time?
This is a new camera.
It is already a new camera?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just because I'm rotating like around as. Hmm.
Are you locked by the
You
are
know
you locked
what?
by rotation order? Can you change it?
Um, kind of. I'll fix this. Don't you worry.
Oh, I believe in you. Very 612. Ridiculous, Jesus.
Say dickless Jesus, or am I like?
No, I said it's ridiculous, Jesus.
I think you
But
said
you
dickless
only
Jesus.
heard,
I think that's
yeah,
what
you
it
heard the
was.
whole. You know, I have to say English is not my first language, so I do
What's your
slur
first?
my words. Vietnamese. Vietnamese is my first language. But I've lost
Uh,
that tongue. But my English has never been perfect. Um, even though I live in America. Um, but I'm also from the Midwest, so I have a slurring Chicago accent. Apparently, uh, that's a problem. So yeah, so I have both problems at the same time.
I used to know. Oh, I used to know. Um, I used to know like a tiny bit of Vietnamese, like the tiniest bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good with like languages. I try to learn them, but I'm not very good at them.
Uh,
I used to like hello is like Xin Chao, right?
yeah. Well,
And then
yeah, kinda. Yeah.
I can't pronounce it like properly. I really
No, that
I've
was
never
pretty damn
like
close
actively
actually.
learned.
But I also know that my Vietnamese is like completely broken.
Is it
Like
like
my grandma
dialect?
doesn't understand me. No, it's because I'm American and my way of it's not even a dialect. It's just I have an American tongue. That's the problem. Um,
Ah, right.
so
I get you.
right,
Like you're
yeah.
not.
So like it sounds like I'm speaking in slang to my grandma when I talk to her.
Right. Yeah. It's
She'll,
like
be,
it's not
she'll look at
proper.
my grandma and she'll look at my mom and she'll be like, "What's your son saying? What? What? Are you sure
I'm
he's your
still
child?"
awake.
You know, she would say shit like that. You sure? And I'm like, "Yeah, mom. Am I your child?"
I used to. I can't remember it. I used to not say how are you. So it's just literally like hello and how are you is like all I knew, and I can't
Yeah.
remember how are you.
I mean, it's if I had to learn a language, I wouldn't learn Vietnamese. I'd learn Korean or Japanese or Spanish, to be honest.
I speak Spanish. I really want to learn Chinese, like
Yeah,
Mandarin.
yeah. Oh man,
Mandarin would be so cool to learn. Apparently, it's like one of the hardest languages on the planet.
I don't know. I never done it, so I have no idea.
I'm just saying apparently because it's difficult. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those. They don't really have like an alphabet. They have like an alphabet for syllables. So it's not like English where it's like you've got a letter
Hey, Lost Fire.
that has a sound, but like more so you've got like syllables that are
Mm.
represented by, I guess in their case, a letter. But like it's the same with like Japanese as well. Like they don't actually have letters. If that makes
Oh,
sense, they've got like syllables for it that are represented
yeah.
by kanji. I don't know if that's what they call it. Like,
You're talking about Chinese letters?
yeah, it's hard to explain. Like, they use symbols to represent syllables as opposed to individual letters.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
It's
Well,
super
that's
fucking
because,
difficult.
like, I'm as a Vietnamese, right? I don't know if you know this, but Vietnam was colonized by the French, and with that
I know that.
colonization, they changed all of the Vietnamese language to have Roman letters. So in Vietnam, it's all Roman letters. It's all actual alphabet, which is different than most of other Asian countries. It's heavily influenced by the French, especially their food and coffee. I mean, but before the French came and colonized Vietnam for 20 years, I mean, it had its own Chinese language. It because it's Indochina. Vietnam is Indo-Chinese. And they were part of China long thousands of years ago, until they got kicked out, and it's weird history. Um, but yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
much about like Vietnam at all, really.
I didn't even know this, but like my favorite dish, my one of my favorite dishes is beef stew. I didn't even learn about this until 3 years ago that beef stew is not a Vietnamese dish. It's a French beef stew. Blew my mind away. I was like, "What? Bitching with me, mom." She's like, "No, that's French."
I had
Wh-
one of my friends at Halo Trader message me earlier.
uh,
They didn't message me, sorry. It was like through like their Discord server, and they made a joke about the fact that like in England we don't have like cuisine at all because all our food's shit. And I just had to remind him that the French eat mold,
Peace.
which I think is fair enough. Like, I'll take like I'll take a roast dinner over mold, you know.
I mean, if you think about it, like soy sauce is fermented soybeans, right?
I
And
don't
that's
want to
just
think.
it's delicious.
It is delicious. Yeah, you are
It's
correct.
so good. Yeah. I mean, it's actually more about beer. It's like similar to beer making over than anything else, to be honest. With soybeans. Um, but yeah,
Wait, can I just separate this mesh? I might be in a complete tit right now.
Mm,
Oh my
You know,
lord.
you redeemed a hydrate. When did you do that?
Oh, uh, I
A
yes.
while ago.
Say you didn't, so we can't have a drink.
Oh, you know me. I'm watching out for you, bud.
God. Who?
I have a problem with forgetting to eat and drink when I'm working quite a lot.
I do
Every
that
time.
so much.
So lunch would be either noon 12:30, right? It'd be 1:30 before I realize, oh shit, I forgot to eat. And my messages at work, my status would be like, I missed my lunch window, so I'll be back at 2 or 2:30 or whatever. Almost every day. They're like, is that why you just, I was like, I just keep working and I keep forgetting. Um, because it's like, oh, an extra thing here, an extra thing there. Oh, let me just get this export going. Oh, let me just cut out this like the environment for the scene, or something, always something.
You set like a small task and then you're like, oh,
Right,
actually I've got a bit more to do, and then it just keeps
right.
snowballing.
Yeah, it just keeps doing it. And sometimes I was trying to set up a scene to do something that would take a while. Like in our game, we cut out environments to move them locally. We have a tool to do that, but it takes a long time. However, it didn't take a long time this time, so I set up to do it and go off to eat lunch. But in like 2 minutes, I already finished. And I was like, oh, let me just set this up and get the characters in. And by the time I realized it's already 1 p.m., I was like, oh shit, gotta go.
Yeah. No, I have the
Uh,
same with like coding and stuff. Like a lot of stuff I have, it's like I'll be coding. I don't know, for example, like I don't know if I was coding like a simple game, right?
mm-hmm.
I'd get down about, okay, well I've got to this point, I can take a break. Actually, hang on, I need to do this, and then
Yeah.
that will keep happening because I don't want to lose the mindset I'm in. And then the next thing I know, it's been like
When
4
you're in the
hours.
groove, yeah. When you're in the groove, it's easy to forget. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
like
like
for
I'm
example,
in a
it's 2
groove.
o'clock now, and I'm still struggling on Blender. But like,
Yeah,
I've made no progress tonight, fucking none. But I'm trying.
I right. I feel like so here's the crazy thing. I have days that I make a lot of progress, but I did nothing. As in, I'm not animating. I'm doing a lot of other shit like logistics, emails, thinking up with people, telling them what I did wrong or what they did wrong in my scene or something like that. And none of it's animating, but I got a lot done. But I also got nothing done. You know what I mean? Like I hate those days so much.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
It's
so I can
it's
just separate it like that, and then I am a fucking genius. Oh no, no, I'm not. Never mind. I take it back. I'm an idiot.
too
I
soon.
made. Yeah, I was like, I've just realized I could separate the mesh, so I could just hide the part, like, because this character's got like a veil on their head, and I was like, yo, I can actually just separate the mesh. This works so good. And then the next thing I knew, it was like, actually, um, I forgot to unseparate, like, because I selected all the mesh,
Mm.
but it selected the bit inside as well. So I've got to deselect like all the faces on the inside of the helmet because it's got like a. I don't have to explain. It's like a veil and a helmet at the same time.
Just a question: will you continue doing the head remaster cutscenes? Yes.
Say
Oh.
no and laugh.
Those projects will be coming after episode 3 is done. And also, as well as the Halo 3 remaster stuff, there's some other projects that I want to do, which could be cooler. If I do them correct.
Which you won't. I'm kidding.
Which I won't.
I feel like I drag you down a lot, but I feel like that's also just part of like British humor. So
Yeah.
I feel like I have to apologize for like the wider audience, but that is just how we talk. I think, unless I am being a prick, in which case tell me.
You're all good. All good.
Just like now.
It's nice when there's a fresh new scene, and if you move something, it moves with nothing slowing down.
That's
It's
me right
so
now,
nice.
trying to fucking.
Right. I'm gonna regret this later. Like I bet you in a few weeks' time when this theme gets heavier and heavier, it's gonna slow down like crazy. But like right now it's fast. I'm like, this is great. This is the
That's the
best.
thing as well. It's like my scene isn't actually particularly that intense. I've just got a really shit PC, so it's like I remember I did a like one of the biggest render I've done was like a collection of like Halo Spartans, and I'm talking like a nice collection of maybe I think 13 or 14 pretty high res, pretty low res actually, Spartans,
Mm-hmm.
and by the end of it, like my PC was just running hot, like horribly hot, and nothing moved when I tried to pose it. So it got to a point where I was posing one thing, and then hiding it in the viewport, just so that I could actually get around to posing the other stuff. Otherwise, like none of my shit would work.
Mm.
So if I hide the net, oh no! Oh, I thought I was done. I thought the end was in sight, but it was not.
I think I may have just figured out a really easy way to
Oh yeah? How?
No,
Are you using T? Is that what you're doing?
no.
What are you doing?
You are
I have a
a
locator
fool
that is like aim constrained.
coming here.
Oh,
How
oh,
often? That was
oh,
really
nice.
a chat thing.
Yeah.
How often do you need to run a scene fully through to get a feel for the shot? Is you naturally able to tell what needs to be changed for a short run of the scene?
Oh
That's
shit.
only because I've had so much experience animating cameras, and I've been animating professionally for like 7 years. But I think it's one of those things because I have in the back of my head how I want the shot to look. It's easy for me to understand what's not working. So when I'm running through, like I will watch a shot over and over again, and there'll be moments where the timing won't feel right, and I'm like, oh okay, this needs to fix, and I just know that it'll be like a quick keyframe change. Um, but I probably only I have to run through my stuff over and over again. I think that's just part of animation. But there's a fly in my room. Let me just say, good luck to you if the Spartan ever runs. That would be hard to do. I imagine due to soon how feel like it. Right? Armor collision. Hey, this part of high charity fell perfectly flat. That's how you get around that issue.
He's got mag boots on. Fuck it.
No, it fell, and then this room fell, and then something gave way, and it leveled out perfectly.
Insane, right? It's such a coincidence. What
That's how you
happens?
make stories. This only has 14 people watching for such a good massive project. It deserves so much more. I really enjoy the work put into this. Hey, so yeah, it's all good. I mean, watching it being made is probably incredibly boring. It's so slow as a process.
By the way, I redeemed a posture check, so standard.
Y-
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though? I think you have the fastest I've seen with animation though, like because you're only getting to a certain point and then you're able to play blast it really quickly because you're not trying to perfect anything, right away.
Hey, are you saying my thing's not perfect?
No, I wouldn't
No,
say that.
we're seeing it looks
I'm just
shit.
saying you're looking at your product as you go along, right?
Yeah.
Per shot. Instead of like you're doing the whole thing like and then go back to the first shot again months later to polish, which
Oh
you
yeah,
haven't seen
yeah,
for months. Yeah, that would have took forever, and that's even slower. I mean, this way you're actively, you're doing camera work and figuring out your shot, but you already did your layout in an earlier version.
yeah,
So in a sense, I just think it's very fast, which is really good. Like in a way, you got the satisfaction of animating it and seeing your product
yeah.
either the same day or the next day. Whereas most of the time you don't see it until months later or weeks later,
Very true.
right? I mean, just this is just for conversation. I'm just talking out of my ass right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, it makes sense. But I think
I don't see any of my work for months
yeah, it
after
helps
I'm
that
done.
I'm seeing like the final renders like a day afterwards.
Yeah,
But
and it gives you that sense of like I'm making good progress
yeah, I
or
mean, I
not.
have burnt out on this project because this has been a year, like six. It was like 6 or 8 months in. I got to a point where I was looking at the whole edit and I had like 3 minutes left to animate, and I was like, oh, I've still got to do all the effects, I've still got to do all the comping and the lighting and all that stuff. So I was just like, this shot's. I was debating splitting it in half, and episode 3 was going to be like 3 minutes, and episode 4 would be the last 3 minutes. But then also in my head, I was like, I planned this as episode 3. If I split it, it will feel so disjointed.
Not
Um,
only that, but wouldn't the workload still be the same?
the workload should be the same, but at least like in my head, I was like, at least people could see like 3 minutes of some cool action stuff. But then I'm also like, it'd be more impressive if it'd be a lot more impressive if people just saw 5.5 minutes of the entire thing done.
Right.
So,
But I'm pretty sure once it comes out, it's gonna just have not head rolling, but like jaw dropping, because that's what you did with your what 20 seconds of Warthog alone, and your Spartan getting it like, man, makes me angry thinking how good it looks. I'm like, no
that's
good,
like
no good.
all I was gonna do. I was just gonna do like a big warthog run sequence,
That'd be really cool to see.
just because I liked my little rig that I made.
man, Shang-Chi was such a good film last night.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
get to watch it. I'm not big into Marvel personally. It's not my kind
You
of
know what's
film.
crazy? And I
But
won't give anything away, but I feel like I forgot I was watching a Marvel film while watching it. I felt like I was watching a Chinese martial arts film, to be honest. It's
yeah, it's meant to be like really, really good.
yeah, they did an amazing job, and I was like, oh, right, this is Marvel. Holy shit, right? Oh my gosh, and yeah, it's crazy.
Where's the fucking cable for my? what's it called? So I need to charge my vape, and I just couldn't find the cable.
I'm gonna catch up on my chat for a sec.
How dare you? Yes.
Hayden, so you compare what's on screen versus the version in your head. Yeah, I'm always imagining how I want it to look in my head. So for example, right now, when I'm scrubbing through this, I'll play it in real time and I'm judging what I'm trying to look at and how long I have to look at it because I'm trying to imagine these things moving. So like as I'm playing it, I'm like, cool. So already I think this needs to be extended a little bit. So you have a bit more of a pause at the start. Um, and then it'll be like, I want to have a good pause here so you see these things start to move. And then as it rotates here, probably another little pause where you see this thing, or it's just like a general slower rotation. So I'm thinking about all these sort of things while I'm doing it. Just a reminder, save. Very good shout. I mean, Vex, first time I catch you live. Say what you're doing. It's amazing custom modeling skills management. Something up to. Thanks, man. They're all right. It helps that everything's dark. Get away with a lot.
The trick is to show less.
The trick is, less is more. You all know we
That-
are here for commentary. The work is just extra.
That's the goddamn truth right there.
It honestly
Less
is.
just less.
That's one of the few advices that I'm still learning to this day, 10 years later. Jesus. For animating. For animating.
Yeah, I need to get around to animating at some point. I want to get there like by the end of the year, and like say, okay, well,
I mean, you literally have two professional animators in here.
Yeah,
I know, but I feel like if I'm gonna ask professional animators for shit, like I don't know,
that's
I
fine.
feel rude asking, you know what I mean?
I feel like animation is one of those things that, yeah, the tool, yeah, whatever, but principles transcends the tool for our animation, at least, I feel like. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I learned was from 2D animators in the 2D animation book, not a 3D animation book at all. Like, everything I've learned was principles from 2D. Is
Like
that
you said,
nuts? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
like I said, you've seen the one animation I've done.
Have I? Let
Yeah, I sent it
me
to you
let me
in
pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick and
one sec.
refresh my memory.
Wait, I'll
I'm
just
pretty
put
sure you
in the
sent it
chat
to
to
me
put in the
back in the
chat.
past. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
That's the only animation I've ever done.
yeah. I remember this. And
It's not awful,
no, it's not.
but it's
Like
not amazing either.
imagine if you learn some tips and tricks or like some follow through, what it mean, like what to do when you hit the pose and how you can make it even, like how to sell what you have, right?
Yeah,
Like
like I literally just did a frame by not frame by frame, but I took like the clip of Shia LaBeouf, doing the actually saying it,
right.
uh, and like
Yeah. So
the
you know
frame by
where I would
frame
see your work. So your work, what you have right now is pose to pose. So I can see pose three poses. Most
start, end, middle. Yeah,
yeah, like and you see it. But imagine if you hit those three poses, but then you have like little things like muscle jiggle, like follow through, and like there's connective elbows and arms and shoulders, and now you can have this move that feels like a human instead of like a robot, if that makes sense. A simple move like that with a couple tools and tips, it improved the shot immensely. Like how I learned how to animate wasn't to animate something big like Josh is doing. Like Josh is doing it because he's a good animator.
No, I'm doing it
How
because
I
I'm a
learned,
fucking idiot.
yeah, that too.
and
I
have
mean,
no.
he took on this challenge, right?
I'm doing
It's
it because
crazy, but
I'm an
it's awesome,
idiot. I'm ambitious.
right?
I'm an idiot,
But
and I have
but
no
like
life
a lot of how I wouldn't say
and a
everyone.
really
This is just me
supporting
speaking
girlfriend.
out my ass. Yeah.
Big flex.
Is that like I've learned animation through small exercises, a lot of small exercises. Like 2 second, 1 second, 30 frames, 60 frames. Like simple. Like I think one of my first assignments was a ball bounce, which is my favorite exercise to learn. When you're learning a new program, like if I ever need to switch to Blender or I need to switch to 3ds Max, the first thing I'm animating is a ball bounce to familiarize myself with the tools.
Is that because
Um,
it's got momentum going down? It changes in speed. It's not just like a static one
it's a
speed
lot of
top to
things.
bottom.
One, it's basically a pendulum that hits a wall, right? But it teaches you how to slow in, slow out, how to understand timing, spacing. But you have to manipulate the camera and your tools to get your job, the bouncing ball done. Keep it simple. I think one of my first human assignments was a head turn, like just having a character turn their head to look to the right or left, and then
Yeah,
doing
because
it
like the shoulders
again in
move with that.
different. Yeah, and the whole thing, I did it 3 times. My first assignment is just to do a bland head turn. The second time was to do a head turn that makes them look like they're scared. The third time was to make a head turn that makes them look like they're being called by their mom or dad. And that's completely different. They're all head turns, but they're all different. That was my assignment for
Hold
like,
on, can I just write these down? What was the first one?
oh, you can, I
I'm just
mean,
gonna write it
ball
in the
bounce.
chat and pin
Ball
it.
bounce is the number one thing you should write down. Like that's the first thing you should learn. There's, I wouldn't, and by the way, try not to find tutorials on how to do it. You should, there's tutorials, but don't follow numbers. Like you should learn through observation. Like,
Yeah, I
you know,
literally want to do it just through reference. Like, go outside, drop a
yeah,
football, soccer
exactly.
ball in your face. Drop
I
a
had some
gun.
classmates, well, not classmates, some people who graduated from my old school that they still follow formula that were given to them on paper. And I was like, no, 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 that's not how that ball bounce here might work for a tennis ball. But if I asked you to animate a bowling ball falling, you wouldn't know how to do it because
I
there's no
just hit
such
the
thing as
deck.
a, yeah, but like the idea is they weren't learning through references and observation. They were treating animation like a formula, like there's numbers to it, and there might be truth to that, but a lot of it's through observation. You need to learn, be able to observe what you're looking at and you're emulating, and be able to recreate that as your first assignment. Um, bouncing ball. What's the next one, Josh? Like pendulum?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. I never really did any of those because
No, really.
I did the bouncing ball because that's just how you start.
Yes,
Because a
exactly.
bouncing ball can, yeah, because kind of like everything you said, and it can translate to everything. Like,
So
oh, a
much.
walk is essentially just lots of bouncing balls put together.
Yeah. You know, Scrat from Ice
Yeah,
Age?
Scrat is
That's a
literally like a bouncing
bouncing
ball with a
ball.
tail. Like,
Yeah, and it's alive. That's all it is. It's a bouncing ball. It's amazing.
um, but I don't know. I when I was in university and they were like the lecturer who was useless was trying to teach animation and he knew nothing about animation really at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I found it was the way he was explaining the principles didn't make sense to me in my head, and I thought I understood what they were, and that's until I started at ILM, and then I was actually taught by people who knew what they were doing,
Yeah.
and like, uh, where's getting rid of a Twitch bot. Um, it was, and it's like, yeah. So the guys at work when I like first joined, they taught me so much in the first like couple of days that I started to understand like how to make weight believable and the reason why, and like it's been described in like so many different ways. So like there's a guy who animates and thinks about like the energy whilst he's animating. So like for example, if it's like the Hulk like jumping down and hitting the ground, it would be the idea that his body would like move in like a gravity arc. So you'd have to have like a nice like, it's called parabola curve, whatever it's
Mm-hmm.
called. and then like when it hits, you have the energy. So the feet hit first, that energy travels up, it hits the hips do a little jiggle, the energy travels up through the hips, hits the chest, that has some sort of residual impact as well. Then that energy travels to the shoulders, they have a little bit of an impact, and it dissipates as it goes down the different limbs. And
Mm-hmm.
like when he said that, I was like, yeah, that makes complete sense because physics. And then I started doing that in my animations, but then it made everything feel really like jiggly and reactive. Which, to be honest, in games I see it a lot where everything is jiggly, which works for some styles, and other styles it looks like it's just jiggle for the
What do you
sake of
mean by
jiggle.
jiggly? Like noodle jiggly? Like too soft or like hard
It's just like it's kind of like
jostling?
everything just like jiggles. Like it'll be like hitting a hand, and then all the fingers are going like, and it's all jiggling. But like
Mm,
if you watch reference, like the hand wouldn't be jiggling like that. But it's obviously amped
right.
up for gameplay or something,
Well,
which makes
it,
complete sense. Like
yeah, in gameplay, it depends on who you talk to and which game you're talking about. But sometimes there's animation not filters, but compression. There's the word. And so whatever you're doing, it actually compresses it sometimes to be less big. Sometimes I don't know who or what engine, but my first game, the compression was so bad that I had to amp up the animation by like double the effect just to get it kind of looking okay in game.
yeah,
Um,
if it's
but
something like that, that makes complete sense.
yeah, but that was also back then, like 10 years ago when I was on Unreal 3 still. Now I haven't done gameplay in for so long that in cinematics, most of the time in cinematics, um, what I see is what I get most of the time. So I got lucky with not having to do any of that really. Um, interesting.
Um, right, animate pillow, yeah, animating pillow is good for like trying to give across emotion. Hayden, does the shotgun have a flashlight off at the end? Are we going to get blinded? The camera pass across the end of the shotgun. You will be blinded. It'll be like a nice lens flare. That's what I have in my head.
You blinded by
It'll
this magic
flare out
stuff.
for a few frames as it goes through because I think it'll just look nice. Fanciful pendulum, flag, human walk, four-legged animal walk. That's what I had to do after we learned basics. Yeah, the thing about like I get it why they make people do a walk and a four-legged animal walk, but when you're just learning animation, you probably won't be able to do those sort of animations because animating a walk is like one of the hardest things you can do in animation.
Mm.
Like animating a
Wait,
convincing walk.
it's also worth mentioning to people that again, I, I appreciate people who are like also chiming in to help, but please also remember that I'm like entirely, pardon me, entirely like new to all of this, like entirely, and like I like as Josh knows, I literally started like not long ago. I'm still wrapping my head around how textures work, you know, and trying to understand like the fundamentals so that moving forward, because I only want to do this as a hobby. It's not something I do as a job, but I want to be able to do my hobby well.
Yeah,
So you know, I've not been afraid to message you every now and then asking for like, because I think
I'm
I
happy
asked for your
helping.
feedback on like, I asked for your feedback
Yeah,
um on the one animation I've done, didn't I? I was
yeah.
like, yo, I need I need help with this. Does this look alright? What can I do? And I think you literally told me, hey, hold like hold the pose a bit longer because like otherwise it's too short. Like when you strike a pose, you hold it. And I was like, brilliant, thank you. And then I think the literal edit of that video was just called, because the original video was just called "Do It," but I'm pretty sure that I named the that render just "Do It," but more frames on the "Do," just because I knew where like that was. And that's the one animation I've done, but like it's literally you've helped like so much with that.
I didn't
Just
know I
like
had
obviously
such a big
can't
help.
thank you enough for that. Ah, fucking white painting. Let's put that there.
Ooh, I hate walks, but then it's fun when it comes together. Walks are very tough.
Mm.
Even I struggle animating walk. Could you ask my question in brackets? your question in brackets. For the person chatting on the head turns, which type of scared did they do? The fast turn or the slow anticipated scared one? You know, I think that's for you.
Oh, to be honest, it's not about what kind. It's more about just practice. So just choose which one you want, right? Like for me, the ability to practice multiple variations of the same thing is important. Okay, for example, maybe the head turn, what I did was just an example. Like for instance, I think one of almost every school that teaches the ball bounce is more relevant because the first ball bounce you learn is either a ping pong ball or a basketball, which is typical, several bounces and it dissipates over time. Then the first thing they make you do after that is a bowling ball or a beach ball, which is even lighter or heavier than what you just did. And then the third assignment would be literally make them bounce into each other and see what happens. Like it's the idea of just practice. It's not about. I feel like if you get caught in the early stages, if you got caught up with what to animate, you're gonna run into the fact that you'll never start animating to practice. Which one of my classmates that I went to school with, she always got hung up on like, what do I animate? What do I animate? And I, on the other hand, went to I just need to make a lot more because I don't know how to animate. Period. Right? It's not about what I need to animate. It's about
Hmm.
you know what
It's
I mean?
about just starting in the first place.
Yes, exactly. And it's a what if situation. Like you ask yourself, oh, okay, I animated like for instance a walk, right? Vanilla walk. Okay, what if this was uh an older gentleman walking? What would that look like? What kind of older gentleman? Okay, just do it. Just figure it out. Don't even think about what kind of person they are. Just practice. Like the more you do, it's getting the miles in, right? And I don't know if you agree with me on this, Josh, like starting out, but like I feel like getting started and getting the ball rolling is helpful. Like you just building habits is something that's
Yeah.
right. Like I
That whole
animate
1,000
every single
hours,
day.
like if you put 1,000 hours in your.
But I also believe in not just practicing just to do it. Find out why it's not good. Don't beat yourself over it, but be like, okay, now I understand that if I did it this way, it didn't look good. Maybe try something else, try a different technique, ask for
Just go.
advice, and use that in the next one. It's not about just practicing a lot either. It's learning from your mistake as while you have a chance. Let's say you get a job and you make those mistakes on the job. That's a different story. That's a completely different topic to talk about. That's you maybe getting fired or you not, that's a different talk. But while you're learning, this is your perfect chance to make failures so you never make them ever again.
Very true.
It's I wish I can be a student again because like as a professional, like I'm not really worried about making mistakes because I have enough confidence in myself that like I believe I can do the job. But there are days where I think, am I good enough? But you don't want to be thinking that if you didn't have, prepare yourself enough. I think about that all the time. My early careers was just full of doubt and fear constantly. Now it's like I constantly fear I'm not doing a good enough job for my fans, not for my company. You know? It's a completely different thought process. Um like I'm going to be honest right here. I'm still not that great. I'm still learning. I mean, I'm taking classes when I can at night, when I can afford the energy to do it. Um it just doesn't stop. I really like this career and I really like this like craft and medium. I really enjoy it. It just takes a lot of time and I'm okay with that. It's a journey. I enjoy the journey over the end product more lately
Which is
because
fair enough,
when
yeah.
yeah, because when I think about it, when I finish a project,
All right, guys,
I
I'm gonna
just
go ahead and
yeah,
call it a night.
Fair
later
enough.
bud.
Night, Tuna.
You
Bye,
do.
Josh. Bye,
Yeah,
Dasher.
so I'm at this point where when I finish a project, I remember fondly on the project as like, oh man, I really miss animating this character, or I'm like, man, that was a fun time, or like yes, the end product was great, but I remember the journey into it. Like when I first met Josh and everyone here, and we talked about my shot on the trailer for Infinite, I just reminisce with them about how I did the shot. I
Yeah.
didn't really care about what it looked like.
I was just like, you need to go back to school.
Yeah, that's exactly what got it. He's not wrong though. I went back to school for a little bit,
I was just like,
right?
343 must have been scraping the barrel to get you in. Jeez.
Dude, I was just thinking that too. No, God.
I'm
But
kidding, obviously.
yeah, my art test was okay. But they have some really great animators there. But it's like if I didn't go to Halo, right? I don't think I would have been good enough to get to Sony Santa Monica. Like, to be honest, like 343 trained me in ways I never thought was useful, but it ended up being really, really good for me. Um, I think my first job in the industry was animating for Sesame Street, on a pitch that they were trying to figure out. And it was literally my first job. I was very bad, but the one thing I was good at, I knew how to animate hair and cloth very fucking well. So literally that's by hand because they don't have this is like 12 years ago. They didn't have simulation at the time, or they didn't want to spend money on it. Um, so I did it by hand, all by hand. And I had proper weights on all of it. Like I naturally know how to make something that has a metal piece on a string feel like a metal piece on a string. Um, Not something that we can use these days, but the first game studio thought, oh shit, he can animate capes for us. And that's literally my entire career, is one thing leading to another. Yeah, it's ridiculous. What's this? S9 for the anime here. The office with everyone or at
Wish
home
I had a
alone?
PC that handles that.
What is S9? What does that
S9 for
mean?
the anime is here. Which environments do you prefer to animate in the office? Oh, so for the animators here, would you prefer animate in the office or with everyone at home alone? I
Oh
like
my god.
working from home because you save a lot of money.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I do miss the social aspect of being in office with everyone else. But it's a lot less stressful working at home for me. But I know people at work who want to go back to work full time.
I would say I'm on the fence for both. Um, okay, shit, I don't know how I feel about it because working at home, I feel like I'm actually more productive. I get more work done,
Yeah, I
but I
get a
also
lot more
work
done.
way more by accident completely because now there's no commute now.
Oh, I'm so good at as soon as it turns like 6 o'clock, I just switch off the VPN and everything. I'm just like, nope, done. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, I get too in the zone, and not only that, but like most of my day is commuting to the studio, right? Like not most, a good chunk of it. Like if I live an hour away, that's 2 hour drive, right? That's 2 hours that I'm not getting paid for, or that I have to wake up an extra. Like it's just compounds. So I like working from home for the fact that I have more time for myself for catching up on sleep, doing my own personal project if I ever do it. I took a class last month, every Tuesday and Thursdays at Animation Collaborative. Now, I do like it's not just the social aspect I miss about this office. I miss the collaboration and learning. Like it's hard to learn from another coworker when they're all camera shy. That breaks my heart that I can't learn. Like I didn't learn as much while I'm working here. Um, I've learned a lot, but not as much as I would like, or how I normally learn in a studio atmosphere. I feel like that's all. I miss that. I miss that the most.
Yeah, I can
Like
see.
my team is really good. Like my team, they're amazing animators, but I can't utilize them the way I would if I was in the office. I just can't. That's all. Lost
Just
Fire, are you I'm assuming he's an animator? He or she is an animator?
I have no idea.
It's in their name, so
I
kind of want
I
to
assume so.
see. Oh yeah, I'm done with this. Fuck yeah. I am on mobile. I have a big thumb accidental type. Okay. Hayden. Hey Hayden, are you Hayden that works on view model animation, or are you just not the same person I'm thinking of?
Hayden, what happens when you try to drag a foot too far away? Does it stop? Nope. Oh, well, the leg will, yeah, because it's like a, but the control will disappear. It'll go off into space. Yeah, the leg stops.
Oh, nice.
It is 3 in the morning. I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah, I probably have to jump off myself as well. How's your stuff coming along, Josh? Gashi?
Actually,
I'm fighting.
Finding?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I should reply to a message.
I'm highly impressed with your stuff with being self-taught. That's pretty crazy looking at that.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. Fuck this. Like right now, I'm trying to. So the net is like a separate piece to the head, which is underneath. The head's
It
not
looks,
particularly important.
yeah, I see.
You don't see it through the net. But the problem is, I'm trying to get the rig to work. Like when I rotate it backwards, and the head
Mm,
keeps coming through the net, which I don't want. So I'm trying
mm,
to figure out what the best way to weight paint that would be. Other
I
parts
see.
like the arm are fine. I just need to do some cleanup on like straps and this, like the radio. Like the radio should be bound to the chest here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna weight paint all of this to the lower spine here. I'm gonna weight paint like all the belt to that, so that when the leg
Right.
moves, this strap is attached to that,
Mm-hmm.
so it stretches, and so that all the straps act normally. Hopefully, we'll have something good.
Do it. Do it.
get away
I'm
with
I'm
cheating.
I'm still like in general, I'm so glad that you do have this channel, Josh, because like I was going a little bit stir crazy not having like a 3D channel to talk to people about stuff. Or not
Yeah,
talk, just to talk shit with, talk shop or whatever. Um, dude, I don't know what it is with coworkers that are just camera shy. They just don't want to talk while working. I was like, dude, you do it at work when we're in the office
I know.
all
A
the
lot.
time.
I think it's because a lot of them probably aren't working.
Think so? You think that's what people are doing?
Probably. I know I'm not working 100% during the day
I mean, I
because
get
life
that,
gets
but
in the
like,
way, and I'm just like like every now and again at work, I would literally just sit back and I'm just like, oh, I just need like a 10-minute break, and I'll just sit and
I
just be like, oh,
I
I'm just
agree.
chilling for a bit. You can't do that at work because it just looks bad.
No, it looks terrible. You know what I've started doing? I've actually started sitting in here over like just sitting on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, which distracts me a lot. But while I'm sitting in here and just talking to you and the crew, I
Hmm.
get a lot of fucking work done. Like a lot of work done. It's ridiculous.
I'm pretty pleased with my little Discord community. It's pretty cool. Everyone's like nice, and
Noise.
we're all kind of doing art
I
in our own right, which is cool.
what do you call it? I've thought about doing what you're doing, which is animating my school assignments on Twitch. I've thought about it, but because I'm currently working, I'm like, I can barely make time for classes at night. Imagining sitting in front of a camera for 4 fucking hours and then spending 8 hours, like 4 hours a night to 5 hours a night trying to finish your assignment for a Sunday, you know, in the middle of the night. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah,
Like I want to take classes, but I can't do it while I have a full-time job. I just don't have the energy.
yeah, which is fair enough.
Dude, I was on the NMC Epic which is 3.5 hours every night, every Tuesday and Thursday last month alone. Just staying up for that was just like, oh God, I'm gonna kill myself. These are great, but I'm getting really sleepy. And I also shifted my work hours earlier so I can compensate getting off earlier to attend classes.
Hmm.
And oh, there was no more. I had no more life. It was me waking up, going to work, going to class, going to sleep, repeat for a month straight. It's
Oh my god, I hate this model.
where did you get the model? It
It's
looks like
ripped
a
directly
COD
from a
model.
game. No, it's
You're,
ripped from Rainbow Six Siege.
oh, that's from 6. Nice.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I've been learning how textures work. I'll DM you this, right? So this is like once I'd applied all the textures, right?
Uh-huh.
This is like the initial one, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it look better. So it looks it looks passable. And I
Mm-hmm.
spent the rest of the day fiddling around with all the shaders and everything. I changed the lighting to be a little bit colder, and this is like the final result of the shaders.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
And I'm so happy with that final result because I want to branch out from doing Halo stuff. I'm like really big into Ghost Recon, for example. So what I want to do is learn to do modern soldiers and then
Right.
recreate like older Ghost Recon like soldiers like from Future Soldier, for example, recreate
Right.
those in a more updated version and be able to do renders because we haven't had the older Ghost Recon armor for a long time. And so I'd really love to be able to sort of do something like that. So I think I'd start somewhere simple, learn how the shaders work, how to adjust specular levels and everything, and make sure everything looks right according to the lighting.
Right. That
And for
makes
me, the
sense.
hardest challenge was like the clothing because obviously the wrinkles on the clothing are like a normal map for the most part. Like the wrinkles are there in this model, but like beyond that, it's just about the normal map.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure the normal map looked good. Like, should I turn it up so the wrinkles stick out more? Should I turn it down? How does the specular, impact that? Does the black area and the light area look a bit too shiny now? Like, what can I do?
That makes a lot of sense,
So I
actually.
just spent a lot of time trying to understand what it was that I was editing, so that come the end of the day, I've learned something from it. So for that, I didn't watch any tutorials on how to. I didn't look at any tutorials for how to texture or anything like that. I just worked with what was there. The only thing I looked
Nice.
for was a tutorial for ripping because there was a couple of textures I couldn't find, but I ended up getting those.
There you go. That's dope.
Oh,
Great.
But
I
now
I'll
it's like
see
reckon.
if I can.
I can have this rigged, and it'd be cool to like a crossover with like this and a Spartan because this is like I believe this character's meant to be like 5'4", maybe 5'5". So imagine this like next to a Spartan, like fully scaled, like a mix of Halo and real life. It'd be good to see that size comparison.
Think like one more one more day, and I
For what?
think one more day, and I think this shot will be
Oh,
ready to render.
Wonderful.
Think
think JPG. Play blast. Nope. Oh, nope.
I
Nope.
forgot to put a tweet out with your stream on. Sorry.
nah, don't worry about it.
I
I'm
mean, I
I'm
do
probably
whenever I get the
gonna.
notification. Yeah, I know you're coming off in a minute or soon, so I didn't want to do it now. A bit late.
What do you want to do?
Usually when Josh streams, I'll just put a tweet out telling people to come over and drop my follow.
Oh, nice.
I got a
Unfortunately, I don't exactly have a
ton
massive
of
following.
followers today. It was nuts.
Yeah, you got
Yes,
a
thanks to Nick.
massive amount.
I
How many are
don't.
you
Uh,
playing?
I was on 174, I think,
for
and
what?
I when I started
People?
streaming today, and I'm now on 198.
Yeah.
Well, in theory, could I not just delete this head considering it's never getting seen?
Uh, technically, yeah. Um, but what is that texture of that thing? Is it see-through?
The net, no, it is not. It's got the illusion of see-through. It's a net, but like all the actual gaps, the alpha channel is like completely. It's like full opacity, so you don't actually see through it at all.
Hmm.
Although I would like to edit it so that you can actually see through the little bits of the mesh on the
If
texture.
you can see through it, you want to leave that there just so that it has a shadow. It can cast shadows underneath it. If
Flying
possible.
Mushroom,
Yeah.
this is the second to last shot that I have to render.
To edit mode.
That's crazy,
They're
Josh.
they're both complicated shots, but
How did his camera look? Let's take a look.
I need
Oh
to
yeah,
fix it all. But
Head.
it's looking spicy though.
it's getting there. It's getting the right idea, I think.
Yeah,
So if you imagine as this is happening, it's like
I like it
you
peel off at the end.
yeah. So like
That
here,
peel off is nice.
this bit as he looks away, this
Mm-hmm.
one's gonna go like boop, boop, do a little bubble.
Is that the noise it's gonna make?
Yep, it will make that exact noise. And it's basically just, it's almost like a ripple around the entire room. So it's like this will bubble, this one will like start bobbling,
Oh, I
this one
see.
starts bobbling, and this one is
Yeah.
like just a ripple basically. Like so wherever the camera's looking, it's like there's a
Mm-hmm.
ripple that's happening just in front of where the camera's looking.
It's revealing that shit's that's happening.
So this is gonna be
Yeah.
like bobbling, and then this is all bobbling, this is all bobbling, this is all bobbling.
Nice.
Big ones, big ones. That's the idea.
You're trying to induce a sense of panic, but not really,
Not
right?
really, yeah, because he's a
Yeah.
Spartan and he never panics.
It's more of like
It's more of
letting
a
us know
oh
what's
shit,
happening.
what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, for
Yeah.
us, we feel that, but the Spartan is like, oh, great.
If you
Yeah.
switch to my stream very quickly, Tuna, you'll see
Yeah,
what I mean. So,
let me pull it up real quick. Okay, I'm looking.
all right. So
What's
the
up?
head is currently active. So I turn it
Mm-hmm.
off. You actually don't see a difference.
Yeah.
So there's no difference there at all. You see?
Right, right.
Off, and
I
that's it
see
on.
that. Yeah.
So I might just leave it. I might just bin off the head, and then assign this bone to the net,
All right.
and then just maybe extend the mesh down just to sort of cover any little gaps like that.
Yeah. Well, you know why I
And then
say you might want to
expand.
leave that alone? It's because if you plan on putting this in engine, that might play a role.
Well, if it
Uh,
ain't the Three Stooges.
No, they're literally just going to be. I think I'll just be using this for renders. I don't plan to put it in anything, just for
Oh, okay,
discs.
okay. Yeah, then you don't need
Um,
it just to make it simpler. Hey, bud.
yeah, that'd save me so much time. I'm just going to have to extend some of the mesh around here, I think. But to be fair, I'm not going to have a camera angle that's ever looking up like that. It's always going to be from enough of a distance that it looks fine, I think.
Hmm.
Let me just switch over. Yeah, because right to let it build its shaders. My PC is like really old, so it'll take a minute to compile all of this. Okay, there's no light in the scene. Okay, that's fine. Let's just run an HDRI real quick.
Hey, Josh, 20 viewers. That's sick.
Yeah,
Dude,
that is
Uber
really
Nick
cool.
rated me. I had like 100.
Nice.
Yep,
It was insane.
that's ridiculous.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
I'm doing pretty
Not
good,
bad.
thanks, man. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
Good stuff.
I'm
Okay.
working on some more art, believe it or not.
What are you working on?
Drawing something for somebody. Let me pop it up.
Oh, cool. Let's take a look at that. Oh, nice.
So,
I love that now you're doing backgrounds blurred out. Just it's
I'm gonna paint over it, and
I know, but like it gives you that sense really quickly, right? Like
it
the
does. It
feeling.
does.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Because I see a lot of animators who just animate, but they know their background is super blurry, and it's just a
Hmm.
stock image or something. But it gives you that sense of where you like a character is like in a coffee shop. Guess what? Get a coffee shop background.
Yeah, put a
Eh,
coffee in
Yeah.
the background.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Wall
I
to
think
wall
that's
beans.
fine.
Right.
Yeah, just straight up beans everywhere.
Imagine if they all shot out like the grunt party Confetti.
Confetti, yeah.
Yeah,
The
in
big egg.
Josh's. uh, so Hayden, no, I only asked because I have a friend who's a gameplay animator. Well, not a gameplay animator. He's a, I think that what they call them is view model animators. View model as in first person gun animation. That's like their
Oh,
specialty.
like POV type shit.
Yeah, it's called view model technically because I don't know
Yeah.
why, but
Well, it's because
um,
it's the
and
view model.
I've learned that a lot of view model animators are incredibly almost all of them are self-taught because there's a whole community of them.
Did you
It's
know about
ridiculous.
Hyper?
Oh yeah, Hype
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah.
I
He's one of them.
fucking love him. He's so good. Like
He
Yeah,
his
started
and
best
posting stuff
animations.
again.
right,
Oh, he
and
has.
so
Yeah,
Yes.
he's what? He's what?
yeah, he's done like 2 in the last 2 months.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
So
and check.
so like the idea is Hayden is someone who's a first person animator who's trying to look for a job right now. And I thought you were coming from another Discord room. I'm in another Discord full of first person animators. Like I'm like one of the only normal animators in there, and I'm like I feel overpowered, under overwhelmed. They're great. They're super amazing how fast they learn.
I was
Ridiculous.
sort of see Magnum Animations. I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and the Narrows animation, where
The
the
Narrows
twitch
animation
sniper.
is like almost a year old.
Oh, okay.
Which one? Oh
The
yeah.
animation he did on Narrows, where he reloads his assault rifle,
Yeah.
sniper even. Did you notice the little the Titanfall pilot helmet on one of the Spartans?
Oh,
That one ODST. Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
God, this animation's so cool.
Right, guys, I actually might call the stream there because I'm really tired now. I just go
Yeah,
sleep.
man.
all right.
No,
You
worked
did a
till it's
lot
done.
today. You did a lot today. Yeah, I mean that
Did a
looks
lot.
great.
No,
Have
good shit, man.
one more day of this, and it'll
Any
be
chance I
onto the
could?
last shot.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Any chance I could get a little
Hoorah.
playback?
Get what?
A playback?
Chris, you just get in here and you demanding things already?
I'm demanding.
Ah.
Yeah, I've earned it.
You earned this.
There we go. I put ambient occlusion on. Put ambient occlusion on for this this model, and it actually makes the lighting obviously a lot better. But I forgot to do that a second ago. So it's off and on, so you can actually see sort of the depth in the
Ah,
yeah.
yeah, Josh, I can imagine this with the lights coming around.
Yeah. I need to animate him properly tomorrow, and then make them all start to jiggle.
Wobble a little bit.
Yeah.
It cuts back.
wobble,
It
wobble.
cuts to black and you hear.
That's essentially what's going to happen.
So what are you gonna do for flood foley? Are you just gonna use the in-game?
I'll just
audio?
use all the in-game audio stuff. Yeah.
No, say go outside and like just annoy someone's dog, record it, and then pitch it up or down. So go outside, harass someone's dog. You live in London, so that shouldn't be too hard.
No, you gotta harass a pug.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've just outed your location.
That's
No,
right.
to be fair though, you've already outed it earlier when you told people where you work.
I mean, people know I live in London.
Yeah, I know. I
I'm
felt
not
bad
really
then. I was like,
fussed.
oh shit, I don't want to like out him like that in case.
London's a fucking huge place, so
Yeah, that's true. I'm from like a pretty small city, so and I refuse to go to London
yeah,
mostly because you're there. But
yeah, makes sense.
Wow. Wow.
All right,
Wow.
I'm gonna end my stream here. So everyone watching on Twitch, thank you very much. Follow me, and we're gonna raid someone. Because raiding is always fun. Yeah, the love.
oh, that looks much better now with the screen space reflections on. That's fucking clean. I just wish I could shade this a little
Thank
bit.
you for
smoother.
watching. I'll be streaming more in the week.
Ah, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Speak
ODST,
to
your
you
hot
all
mic and pretty
later.
hard.
I don't know. Someone's got to. I don't know what that is. Here, let me try to look it up. Let's see. Mew logo
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Or